be? Hope this is what it should be. This your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And it's Military Crazy Raw. Drink Chaps every hour. Make some noise! Now, when we started this show, we started and we said we're going to give the people flowers, you know, to legends, to icons, to people who paved the way. Not only we have not been able to, you know, urban directors, Latino directors, it doesn't exist. It's a handful that you know you can count on your hand. That's not only dope, but that's really a part of the culture. When I tell you these two brothers here, they are. I know them. I feel like I know them my whole industry life. They have been down. They have been sincere. They have been involved with everything quality. I remember at one point, you know, looking at reggaeton videos and I just being sad, me coming from hip hop. And when they entered that reggaeton culture, now you look at that culture, now it's hype boy videos now. Now it's big boy videos now. Before, they used to holler, Abuela, to film their videos. And they used to be in the back of the campo with the cow feeding straws. Now they got real videos. Because these brothers came and they disrupted it. They did what they had to do. They learned what they did. And now reggaeton is one of the biggest genres of music in the world. Because of our contributions, I'm taking some of that too. In case you don't know what we're talking about, motherfucking Terrero brothers. I love the humble beginnings of the fact that, you know, your mother gave you your first camera.
Yes, yes.
And then he was your Denzel Washington.
Yes.
And you was the director. You was Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah.
He was Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I was trying to be Denzel too. He just
That's right. So, because you was being an actor as well.
Yes, but you know, at that time, and you know, we grew up in Jamaica. Well, we grew up in the South Bronx, and then we moved to Jamaica, Queens.
Right.
And at that time, like nobody thought about being an actor. We were just having fun, you know.
Right. Who was famous Latino actors at that time?
John Leguizamo?
Ricky Ricardo. Oh,
no, damn. Cuban, right? Yeah, he's going far back.
Right? He was far back.
I mean, he revolutionized a lot of stuff in the industry as a Latino.
Yeah, but I, you know, early on, I mean, I think a lot of us at that time looked at Al Pacino because all the big movies.
Because of the accent, the fake accent.
Scarface? Because of Scarface?
No, but what I'm saying, he was playing the Latino characters that were big in that era.
Right.
Carlito's Way.
Yeah, you had different actors coming up at that time, like Jimmy Smits, and there was a bunch of different guys doing their thing. Jimmy Smits did the NYPD Blue.
Okay.
You know, there was a bunch of guys, but nobody sort of. What we had was what we had. New York Undercover.
Okay, Malik Yoba's the partner, right? He's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah, that was the closest we had to like something that I felt, at least that show that felt urban, where we saw Latino characters pop up, but we didn't really have someone you can hang a movie on at that time.
Right. I love the fact that two of the most gangster, one is a series and one is a movie, is like kind of what put y'all on, right? Juice, which is a gangster movie. You saw Juice and you switched your college semester, and I saw Juice. I went to jail, and big difference. And but The Sopranos.
Oh, The Sopranos.
You know, someone told me you was in there, right? But I had never. And I every now and then I go back. I watch Seinfeld, and I was just watching The Sopranos just randomly. I'm like, oh my god, he's right there. How the fuck did you get in The Sopranos, yo?
You know, The Sopranos.
You was definitely the typical Latin guy, too.
Yeah, you know.
Selling cocaine and got shot. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, we at that point, we were already in the industry, right? So when we got into the industry doing like internships, my brother interned in casting, I interned in production. So I was working with like the producers trying to learn how to make a movie, and he was working in casting. So as he evolved, he was working, there was a moment where we were doing a big project and there was these two casting directors, Georgianne Walken and Sheila Jaffe. Georgianne is Christopher Walken's wife, the guy from King of New York.
Yeah.
So they were doing, So they were doing the big movies in New York, and while we were working on the project with them, he was doing extras casting, they were doing principal casting.
Right.
Their assistant, something happened, like they lost their assistant. So my brother was like, you should go work with them so we can learn how to do, you know, that side of the business. So then I took that job as the assistant. And I started working with them doing principal casting.
On a Sopranos set?
No, this was another project.
Okay.
So after this project, they were doing all the big stuff. They started working on The Sopranos. So I would always, you know, we were cool. So I would touch base with them. I was like, yo, I love The Sopranos. I was like, Sheila.
And what season was this that you was on?
Ooh, I don't remember. No, it wasn't the first season. No, it was
I
later
thought it was the
on.
first, or was it late in the first?
No, maybe it was late in the first.
Okay, yeah.
They were already
so you had already seen a couple of episodes.
I already saw a couple of episodes. It was bubbling, and I told her, I said, look, if there's ever an opportunity, I would love to be part of the show. So then Sheila called me one day and said, Jesse, you know, there's a character, this Latin character. We don't know if he comes back or not. So she told me. So I went in for the casting, but it was like one line.
All right. Like Latin Dog, right?
Yeah. He was
number one. Latin Dog number one.
Yeah, it was like Latin Dog number one. And basically, before they killed me, I was supposed to say, like, I'll let them know. Because it was like the Spanish guys were coming into their area. So when I went to the audition, it was a ton of Spanish dudes. And they was taking this shit mad serious. Like, they wouldn't even say hi to me. I was like, yo, what's up? Like, everybody's super serious. I was like, I can't believe they're studying this one line. So when I went into the casting, Sheila was there and the director, he was like, this is Jesse or whatever. And I said, look, man, I don't know how serious these people are taking it outside, but it's one line, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's pretty much going to be based on how I look. And, you know, whatever. And he started laughing because we were joking about how serious everybody was. And he was like, you know what? They came in here too serious. And he told Sheila, I like him. Let's just go with him because I have a better time with him on set. And that's how I did it. But during the rehearsals, the guy that plays Pussy was like, you know what would be better? If I slap him in the face with the tape. That's how I would do it. I was like, this motherfucker just took my lines.
And you're green. You're green, right?
Yeah, so I didn't know.
You don't know that it means really slap you.
Yeah, but the director was like, that's a good idea. So he was like, somebody get me some tape. So I was thinking about, like, I know he's not about to put in the next scene, slap me with the fucking tape. And then my line became, he took the one line I had, he killed it.
But people still recognize you for that, right?
Yeah. But it was good to work with them. It was cool. It was like, it's not as, I was a fan of the show, so it was great.
Yeah, it's iconic to be a part of that.
To get killed by them, but you know how, like, sometimes, and I work in the film business, you see things that are like, I was getting shot and, you know, I thought the blood was going to shoot out the back of my head. But they just put the makeup shit on me in one take, and some dude stood next to me with a brush and red paint, and he was like, lean back. I was like, at least I thought it was going to be dramatic, but it wasn't.
Okay, so now let's fast forward. How did you go from, was Sopranos first or was Juice first?
Juice would have
first.
been, yeah.
Okay, so how did we get to Juice? Because, what was it, an audition? I know you was part of the Radames gang, but how did you guys get there?
The Juice thing happened because at that time that's when we were making, my mother worked 9 to 5, my father worked 5 to 1 in the morning. So, you know, my father, because he didn't speak the language, he always had like those Latino kind of jobs that were like at different hours,
like
but he was driving trucks, and he was a super in the Bronx. So he was working maintenance for CBS, and it was a late night shift. And my mother would go 9 to 5, then he would go to work at 4. She would get home by 6. So it was like a 2-hour gap in our house when nobody was home.
Okay.
So my mother had a camera, and she was like, yo, entertain yourselves. I don't care what y'all do. We were young. She was like, just don't go into the street. Until one of us is here. So we started making movies.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. We started making
Yuli on Elm Street.
Everything was super Yuli on Elm Street. He was a star, everything. Every time we had a new concept, he was like, yeah, Yuli on Elm Street. Super Yuli. I was like, damn, where am I going to get my shot? I never got it, so I had to learn how to direct. So as we were doing that, we learned the skill for like just having fun making movies, and then we got tired of making movies, and Video Music Box used to come on all the time.
Yeah.
So we used to watch Video Music Box, and we were like, oh shit, let's redo the EPMD video. Let's do the LL Cool J video. So we were doing remakes.
Yeah, but remake it. Okay.
With us playing EPMD.
Okay. Not like spoof, like not spoof.
Yeah,
but we
were trying to be cool and gangsta at the same time.
Okay.
So we would redo these things, and one day, watching Video Music Box, a commercial came on for Juice. They were looking for people for this movie. We didn't know what it was. It was like an extras
like an open casting call
commercial.
Yeah, an open casting, like an open casting. They used to do that back in the day. Spike Lee would do it and open it up to like young black kids because there was none in the union. So they were like, they're looking for black and Latino kids a certain age. So I saw it. So we were like, yo, it's probably gonna be mad chicks there. You know what I mean? So we were like, yo, let's go. So
just for the chicks.
So Yuli, I don't think he went. Because you know he was like, whatever. So I ended up going, and when I got there, it was like a truckload of people. They would bring you in like 50 people at a time, and then they would give you a speech and say, thank you very much, to take a picture, and you're gone. So when they were kicking me out, I was like, damn, like, you know, something inside me said, yo, this could be a real opportunity. So I told the person in the front.
You had not acted prior to this?
No, like, just in our living room.
Yeah, the living room.
We were terrible actors. Yeah.
Okay.
So I told somebody, I was like, yo, I think I lost my keys in there. So they let me in before they brought in the next 50.
Right.
So when I went in there, I didn't lose my keys. It was a lie, but I wanted to try to talk to somebody in there. So I went in, and the casting director, Winston Sinclair, rest in peace, because Winston passed away, she was one of the prominent figures at that time in casting a lot of Spike Lee's movies, a lot of the urban movies, and she was doing the casting for Juice. So I spoke to her, and she told me, like, she was like, yo, man, I like your look, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, we didn't have a lot of Latinos coming.
Right.
So we wanted to create this Latino gang. So she was like, I would love for you to come meet the director.
Right.
So that initiative got her to call me, and when I told Yuli, he was like, oh, I'm going with you.
Right.
I was like, they like you, they gonna like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fire.
And Yuli had a pimple.
Oh, yeah, the Band-Aid, right?
Yeah,
okay.
He threw a Band-Aid on his nose, and the director was, oh, I like the guy with the Band-Aid.
What happened was I had a pimple, so I wore the Band-Aid, and when we got cast and I showed up to set without the Band-Aid, the director was like, where's the Band-Aid?
Yeah.
What Band-Aid?
They didn't realize it was a pimple.
Yeah. And the reason why I didn't go to the casting, because a year before that I was at the mall, some lady was like, oh, shit, are you a superstar? I was like, who, me? She's like, yeah. I was like, nah, not really. You sure? I was like, nah. She's like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. You know, here's my card. Come meet me tomorrow. Right? So I go meet this lady. I go meet I go meet these people, and long story short, they were like, oh my God, we're gonna make you a superstar. Where's your headshot? I was like, headshot, what's that?
Right.
Hey, you don't have a headshot? Don't worry, we got you. Come Saturday, bring a credit card, we got you covered.
Right. Bring a credit card.
Yeah. $1,200. I still got the pictures. I got these terrible, horrible pictures.
The Casablanca pictures.
And they suckered me. You know, the hand, you know what I'm saying? And they suckered me.
Right.
That was so then when they, it was just like, yo, it's an open call for a cast. Like, all right, dick, you gonna get it. I ain't gonna tell you $400. So I'm gonna stay home. But they was like, yo, this shit was real.
Right.
There was a lot of people there, cameras. I got this with the director. I was like, I'm coming. Fuck that shit. They like you, they don't like me. Back in the days, they couldn't tell us apart. I mean, to this day, I'll tell you a story later about how they can't tell us apart. And sometimes they get confused. There was a real big confusion.
So let me ask you, you know, I love these episodes because very seldomly we get to speak to people that's behind the cameras, right? So many people in our culture, their objective is to be in front of the camera. Where there's so many people making more money that's behind the camera, there's so many people that's making more money that's not in front of the camera. There's so many other jobs that exist. So I would like for you to start down with what exactly is casting, right? Like if a person wants your job, right? What would they have to start doing? Because casting.
I mean, you know, I don't know what anyone needs to be a casting director. What happened to me was, like I said, we started casting. We did Juice. That was our first movie. Then Tretch happened to be one of the Rodimus crew guys. So then he did the OPP video and threw us in that. And then it's like, you know, we had little jobs here and there. But like you said, it was like, you know, Latino Thug 1. You know, Raper 2. Like, you know, it was just like...
Raper 2,
you know, I still have my resume. So it's like Thug 1, Crackhead 1, Heroin Addict 2. That's it, right?
But Raper 2 takes the cake, though, man.
You didn't have names.
That's it.
You would literally have like a name like that, like Thug 4. It was fucking Thug 3. You know, who's that guy?
What's funny, there's this actor named N.O.R.E.
Yeah. We just had one.
Did he show you his resume?
Yeah.
Okay. Hector 80 times. And Jose twice. You know what I'm saying? So that was it. But he was a star, so he was getting the people. We were the 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. But what was the question?
Casting.
Oh, casting. Yeah. So anyway, so that was it. That was it. So at some point we're like, is that it?
Right.
You know, so you know, I was complaining in the morning. My father was like, you can't get mad. You got to learn how to do it and fix it, because they don't know. How do they know what Latinos look like? Because at that point, it was only Mexican. Because all the movies done with Latinos was in L.A., so it was very Mexican driven, blood in, blood out, American meat. So that was kind of the vibe. So it was like, who's gonna change that?
All right.
So when I came to the cast, they're like, yo, that was really good, man. But could you be more Latino? I'm like, I'm sorry, white lady, what do you mean? You know, like older leg gives the person. And I'm like, this shit takes place in the Bronx.
Right.
They might think,
They don't understand the diversity.
So anyway,
get okay, baby.
so anyway, so then I used to always say, if I was a casting director, I would change shit. I was a casting director. And then me and Jessy, we were involved with N.O.R.E, who did I Like It Like That.
Yeah.
And when she was developing that, she had us do readings, like, you know.
Because that was like a Latino movie somewhat, right?
Yeah,
that was a big Latino
one.
movie.
That was a big attempt at doing that. So anyway, so we were involved in that, you know, with the readings and all that stuff. And then me and Jessy, we used to be rappers, right?
Right. No, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, yeah.
I did bad research. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, we used to be rappers back in the day. So we went.
What was the name of your group?
Probable Cause. Big Jess
Problem?
Fly You.
What?
No, probable cause.
The Probable Cause? That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
It could have been worse.
It could have been.
You know, a lot of times when cops pull you over because they got probable cause.
Okay.
So that was like a popular term then.
Big Jess will Fly You. Anyway. So
You even changed your voice right there.
Barry White, right? Go ahead.
I'm gonna fly you. Anyway, so long story short, when the movie got picked up, we were in Canada. So the beepers didn't work out there. So they tried to beep us and they couldn't get us.
Right.
So we missed the opportunity. I like it like this. So we missed the opportunity. So we came back like, oh, we're calling for this movie, blah, blah, blah. So then since we knew the whole team, they were like, you know what? You used to always talk shit. If you was a casting director, you would do something. Won't you do an internship on this to learn the process?
All right.
So that's kind of how I got involved. So one thing I would say is do an internship.
Right.
A lot of the positions in the entertainment business, you know, ask to do an internship.
Right.
You work for free to learn the process. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I worked for free on Like It Like That. There was a Latino film, and back then there was nobody in the game. So my boss at the time, Yolanda Gerald, was like, "Oh shit, how are we gonna cast this movie? We don't have anybody here." I was like, "What do you need tomorrow? 50 Latinos." Got it. Yo. So I was, you know, I had access to it.
Right.
So then she was like, "Wow, this guy's an asset. He got access to Latinos and African Americans." It didn't exist in the union or the agencies back then. So then she hired me, and then we did New Jersey Drive, Above the Rim, Sunset Park, you know, and we did a lot of the urban joints, you know what I'm saying?
So basically, a person writes a script.
Mm-hmm.
They get their main characters, right?
Yeah.
And then they come to you and they have you cast the rest of the characters?
Yeah, well, there's two levels of casting. There's principal casting, which would be the stars and all the speaking roles, and then there's extras casting. Right?
Okay.
Sometimes you're just casting like the background extras that don't speak.
The Doug, number one. And
Doug, number one, the guy that gets seen, but he doesn't have no lines.
And Rape for 3.
Yeah, because basically
That's Rape for 2, get it right.
It's a financial thing.
Right.
It's a financial thing. Once they open their mouth, if it's a union movie, they got to get paid X amount of dollars. If they don't speak, they get X amount of dollars. You know?
Wow.
So like, let's say if I was here and I was like podcaster 2, but I didn't speak and the scene was just him, I would be here and every once in a while I would laugh and do shit.
Right.
But they would put somebody else's voice in my voice.
Oh, so they don't have to pay you.
risk.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did N.O.R.E teach us? Because it's union.
Oh no, he said that there's a workaround the union.
Fortunate or?
I forgot the term he used.
Vicor.
Yeah, that's it.
Vicor.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So that doesn't really exist though.
Okay.
Something that happened years ago where urban actors.
Where you can work for union and non-union?
Yeah.
That's what that is?
Yeah, so there was like a fight, you know, a long time ago where they were like, it's not fair. There's not enough roles for us in the big space. So we're dying right now.
Right.
So we have to be able, so they created this thing called FICOR.
Yep,
But if you call the union, they tell you, FICOR, that doesn't exist. But people do it. So I don't know how real it is or how
I mean,
union,
he swore by it. Like,
I get it. And I use union people in non-union movies all the time.
Right.
That have FICOR on their picture. When you call the union, they go, that does not exist.
So the problem is when you go back to that era of like the Juice era, that was like the explosion of all the black films.
Right.
Juice, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, all these urban movies were being done.
were they considered indie at the time, those films, or no?
There was studio finance.
Okay.
There was studio finance, but you know, like Friday, those movies were still low budget. Friday was like $500,000, $600,000.
Right.
It might have been a budgeted at like $2-3 million, but that was the music. That was other stuff that was
Right.
cost on top. So that was like the explosion when you saw like Hollywood say, you know what, hip hop was getting so big, they needed things to mirror the culture. So they started making these movies that were like geared with urban people. And then when they started casting those movies, there weren't enough people in the union.
Right.
So they were like, yo,
To
we
fit
can't
the
even,
roles.
there's no black extras in the union.
Right.
There's no Latino extras in the union. So when people were trying to do authentic projects, they couldn't find the people. That's where casting directors like my brother started to grow because they had the access and the authenticity to say, you know what? I know people, when people were making music videos, Diane Martell, you know, rest in peace.
She
Yeah,
just passed
exactly.
away.
Diane, that's how he started working with Diane, because Diane liked the raw videos, and she didn't find those kind of casting
I
in the
thought you
union.
started working with Diane Martell because you wrote Money, Power, Respect.
Yeah, but we were working with her before already,
okay.
because he started working with her on the casting. That's how I met her.
on the casting.
All her joints,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, so
rest in peace, Diane Martell.
Yeah, no, Diane, you know,
She passed away recently too.
recently, yeah. She's, you know, she was sort of my first mentor in the music video space, and he was working with her with casting. But you know, Diane's videos were raw, so she
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I want a
Tough.
crackhead.
Yeah.
And then he'll bring somebody, and he was like, I don't want to act a crackhead, I want a real crackhead.
Right,
Like, I want you to go find some dude in
She
the
made me
street.
perform in front of fire, and I was like, "Not fake fire." She was like, "No, you gonna perform." I was like, "Yo, I don't want. You don't want the fake shit." Like, they were like, "No."
She's like, keep it real.
Yeah. And I was sweating and everything.
So she was
Yeah, she's
she was
crazy.
super raw. So what happened was that somewhere along the lines, there was a moment where I was like around her and people that worked with her, and she had an assistant at that time, where I found out that they were writers in music videos. I didn't know that. Like that there were other people that wrote concepts. Right, for directors. I thought
Like the treatment, you mean?
Yeah. So
Like you could write the concept. Hold on. Okay.
So one time I was like, oh shit, there's like people involved. So like one time we were somewhere and she was on the phone, and I think it might have been Puff, and she was on the phone with
He
him.
didn't like the treatment.
He didn't like the treatment. And at that time, you
I
know,
heard
it
this
was
stuff.
like Diane, it was Hype, it was like all the big directors
Right.
were up for those kind of jobs.
Right.
Like I wasn't directing. And you know, I ear hustled this, so I heard like the convo a little bit, so I tried to jump in, and I was like, you know, I think I
Told
know.
her why? Yeah, that you ain't like
And
the.
she was hardcore, so she was like, "Well, fuck you know,
Right.
fuck you know, you so smart. Why don't you write this shit?" And I was like, you know, I wrote the concept.
Right.
So she submitted it, and then she got the video. So the production company she was signed to was like, "Oh, maybe the Dominican kid knows something."
Right.
And then after she did Money, Power, Respect, I started getting music.
Right.
Like
she
that
started
she-
sending you music.
Yeah, she
her,
does.
herself.
The production company she
production
was signed
company, okay.
started sending me music. So then I
Like
started
basically write this concept.
Yeah, and you know, I would talk to her first, so she wasn't like just letting me write blind.
Right.
And she was like, study this movie, look at these scenes in this movie. She would give me references. I would look at the movie, come up with a concept. She might hate 50% of it. I'll rewrite it.
Right.
And then she was big then. So like, when I started working with Diane, she was already here.
Right.
So, you know, everything we was doing was like big shit. Wu-Tang, Mariah, it was like all big, Christina Aguilera, it was all big stuff. And then at some point, I got approached by some reps, and they were like, yo, we just signed this kid out of Baltimore named Chris Robinson.
Yep, Robot
And-
Film.
Exactly, and that sort of got me in the world with Chris, and I started writing with him, but he was at a different stage because Chris was on the come up.
Okay.
Which sometimes people feel the impact more in the come up, not on the top.
Right.
So with Chris, when I started working with him, Chris didn't let me write solo. So they would fly me
Get
where he
together
was.
in the same room.
And we
Yeah,
would sit
I heard.
there and we would rock out a bunch of treatments, and then Chris's career started going wham, 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 and I was like part of that wave. And then ultimately Chris signed me, and blah, blah, blah. The rest is history, you know?
Right. So, by the way, let's make some noise for that. So, I'm gonna bounce around a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you know Lena With?
I know who she is. I don't know her
Okay.
personally.
Well, she has a series called The Shy, right?
Yes.
On Showtime. I absolutely love it. I absolutely hate giving any critique to anybody, especially people I love. But I had to tell her one day. I said, there's one thing about The Shy that I just can't get with. I said, you showed, you know, the streets, you showed the police, showed the political thing, you showed everything. The one thing that I didn't see in The Shy that bothers me, there's no Latino.
No, especially Chicago?
In Chicago. Like, I'm like, a Puerto Rican? First off, a Puerto Rican should have been there. Like, I'm sorry.
Humboldt
Claiming
Park is all
Humboldt Park.
Puerto Rican.
But
There's a lot
now,
of
like, if
Mexicans
you
over
look
there,
at
too.
so many Mexicans
Yes.
in Chicago, and I'm like, and I, you know, this is my homegirl too, by the way. So that's my only critique. Other than that, I believe that series is like, it's up there. I believe that
she's
eventually it would be labeled a classic. But my only thing is, there's no Latinos. Right?
And that's always been the tough struggle, is that like we never had a unified voice in Hollywood. You know, the African Americans got unified and was like, yo, we don't see ourselves winning Oscars. We don't see ourselves doing this. We don't see ourselves at the award shows. We don't see enough. And Hollywood answered. But with us, they have never answered. You know, like for us to make up, you know, 20% of the population, you know, we're 1 in 5 people, but we're 1 in 20 on the acting side, you know, in terms of roles. Like in the writers, directors, it's like we're minuscule. And Hollywood has never opened the doors to say, hey, it's on their mandates, like we're supposed to make Latino projects because the Latino movement is there, but they don't really make them, you know? And if I was like a director that was complaining, and then I'm out here on your show, but then you could point out to 6 directors that got mad, the Latino Wire, the Latino Power, the Latino, but it ain't there.
Right.
It don't exist.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all props because. Again.
I just want to say one thing, and the reason behind that is because we don't support. That's it. Like the Mexicans rule because the Mexicans support Mexicans. If there's a Puerto Rican film or Dominican film or Colombian film, we don't support it. If Latinos all got together and support great content, then it'd be
there's too much infighting within the Latino community.
And that's the problem. There's so much hate against each other. But it's like if the studio saw hits after hits after hits, it's a no-brainer. That's why right now we're putting all our chips into, I'm sure you heard about it, we're doing the Fat Joe series next year.
Oh, wow.
On Stars.
Oh, shit.
Fat Joe,
Was it
Fat
called
Joe
All
the
Caps?
Gangster.
Nah. That's my brother. You know that. No, like hold on, time out, because I got goosebumps. Okay, because I'm going to be honest with you. When y'all just said The Wire, the closest thing that I saw that I compared, like a Latin Wire, was the Nicky Jam shit. Like that shit was so good, yo. Like I watched that shit like 3 times. I don't remember how. I know I was bothering you. I called you mad. I was like, yo, I was asking questions. I was like, cause it was just so like. God bless me. God, I credit your brother. Not. I don't credit Nicky Jam. Obviously, I credit Nicky Jam. It's his story. But what I'm saying is, what made me fall in love with it was the cinematography. You know what I'm saying? It's how it was shot. Because you can just shoot anywhere. But it's fucked up for me because I've been in this game 25 years, so I could tell. I know where you put the camera at. I know where that dude right there. He didn't belong in the film. He was walking his dog, but it looked good. You know what I'm saying? It looked good, so they kept filming. Like I can see that. You know what I mean? So when I'm watching it, like I went through the whole thing. This is how good the series is. I watched it 3 times. I swear to God. I kept going, and I was like, I missed something, right? And I kept. This is how good the series is. You know, Nicky Jam makes it out of it. You know that he becomes successful, but as you watching it and you go through it, you're like, yo, I hope he makes it. You're like, idiot, you saw him yesterday in Bell Harbor. Like, he's okay. But that's how good this series was. Like, you know he's okay. Like, in real life, you know he's okay, but watching the series, you're like so into it, you're like, man, what does he do next? Like, what is it? Like, how was that? First off, how did y'all get even approached to do this project? Was it Netflix or was it Nicky Jam's?
What really happened was that for years, as when I pivoted from hip hop videos to start doing reggaeton videos, I was looking at what happened in hip hop and what happened in reggaeton, seeing if I can repeat. Right? So, like we said, when that era of hip hop was so big, Juice, Menace, Boys in the Hood, there was a moment where like all these TV shows were coming out. So I was like, okay, reggaeton is about to be America's new hip hop. So if I follow the same trend, that means we need the same movies, we need the same content.
Right.
But I couldn't get anything sold.
Right.
I was trying, and I couldn't get everything sold. So even at that time, Daddy Yankee had signed to Interscope. He was the first guy.
The guy that signed him, the white kid? 3H.
Yeah. So
little kid like this.
Yeah, my 3H was the one that got me working with Daddy Yankee.
Yeah,
so when Daddy Yankee came and signed with Interscope, I did Rompe and Gangsta Song.
And with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico.
With 3H, right? So,
I know my shit. Come on, man. Come on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
So he brought me into that fold. So it's like when Yankee had did a movie called Talento del Barrio.
Right.
That was his movie. So they did 8 Mile, right? They did Get Rich or Die Trying, and then they were gonna do Talento del Barrio. And they were trying to figure out something with that movie, but they just never got behind it the same.
It never came out, or it came out?
It came out. It was the top grossing movie in Puerto Rico at that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was a huge hit.
Okay.
So so to me, it's like when, and this is a story that I'm not sure is true, but it helped me get Nicky Jam.
Okay.
Right? At the time, I did Wangster.
50.
Right? And what happened with Wangster was that I was already working at Interscope. So DJ, who was Jimmy's nephew that worked at Interscope, when 50 got signed, you know, I'm from Jamaica, Queens.
That's
like
right.
he was on fire in Jamaica, Queens.
Right.
So when he got signed, I told DJ, I said, yo, I think I was doing Styles P or something.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I want to work on the 50 project. He was like, ah, it's coming down the line. I said, yo, I want to work on the 50 project.
Right.
So he kept his word. So when the 50 project came out, he reached out to me to write on Wangster. And when he reached out for me to write on Wangster, all the big directors, because the budget was lower, didn't jump in. So I had like an opportunity to do Wangster, right?
Right. So not just write on it, but actually direct
the video, right? So I, you know, because at that time I was directing video, so I got to do that. So I did Wangster. A lot of people don't know that Dr. Dre is a director too.
On Wangster?
Right? No, Dr. Dre's a director in videos.
Okay, okay.
Right? He had a partner, Phil Atwell.
Right.
You know, old guys,
I
love Phil and Dre. So Wangster was like the low budget video. It was the warm up because 50 had that song out for a while.
Right.
So I did Wangster. Then 21 Questions came. In the club came.
It was
and Dre was like, oh, I got this one. Because the budget was like 5 times.
Right.
And then the next one was 21 Questions. He was like, sit this one out, my friend.
Right.
And Phil got this one. Those budgets were big. And when the budgets came back down a little bit, they reached out to me again. And they said, we got this other record, Many Men.
That's like the movie style you did.
Yeah, so then when 50...
Basically like the intro to Get Rich and Die Trying. I'm sorry, I'm doing your interview for you. I'm sorry. My bad, but I'm into you. Come on, I'm into y'all. Come on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So when I spoke to 50 about Get Rich or Die Trying, Many Men, he was like...
Well, that's 50 making sure you're saying something good about him. He got your lock. Okay, my bad.
So anyway, I ended up writing a concept that was like loosely telling his story, how he got shot, how other cats kind of came up, his shooting, were they involved, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote this thing. And at that time, I had relationships with a lot of actors. So I got actors from NYPD Blue, people from CSI Miami, and I really cast Mekhi Phifer. We really cast, this was like a little short film.
Right.
And this is where the story goes. Someone told me that they took that to Paramount and said, hey, this is the next movie, Get Rich or Die Trying. But the thing is that they didn't see any directors of color at that time, right? So like there was nobody on the list of the directors that they went out. And I'm not knocking the director that did it, but he was a director that did a movie called My Left Foot. That was a huge movie, was nominated for an Oscar. So they felt like, marrying like Urban with an artsy director.
With the white guy.
Yeah. But with Eminem, they went with a really artsy director for 8 Mile. So they were like, you know what, maybe that's the move.
Right.
But I would have assumed I never thought it was going to be me, but I would have assumed it was John Singleton, F. Gary Gray, guys that were like in that moment, having their moment. When someone told me that they showed that,
it was like the sizzle reel to sell the movie.
That's what they told me. I wasn't there, so that's why I say, but that always stuck in my mind. So for years, I was trying to figure out a story with Weezy and Yandel, figure out a story with this person, trying to sell stories, but I couldn't sell a story.
Right.
And I was doing a video with Nicky Jam, and I asked him, there was like a gap where Nicky was hot, and then he disappeared, and then he was hot again, and I was like, what happened? He was telling me about the drugs and this and that, and I was like, I didn't even know none of that story, and I was like, wow, that story is amazing. And he had a song called El Ganador that was similar to Many Men.
Wow.
So I said, you know what, Nicky? Let's shoot a music video with El Ganador. I'm gonna put you in the suit, put the hair back on you. I'm gonna do this shit. We're gonna shoot it like I did Many Men. I feel like I'm having deja vu. I lived this moment.
Right.
And we're gonna take that to the studios. And I shot the video, sat with the Netflix execs, pressed play, pitched them the show, and that's how I sold it.
And Vin Diesel was in it.
I got another video.
And Vin Diesel made a cameo.
No, but that series. So how true to that series is it? Like, because one thing that I didn't know this whole time is that you write. I always thought you just directed, and I always thought you just casted. I had no idea that you guys were actually writing.
The show is sold with my vision.
Okay.
What happens in television is that you build a writer's room.
Okay.
So I had people, a writer in Puerto Rico named N.O.R.E. that was an incredible writer. And Netflix had wanted a showrunner with experience, and they brought a Mexican showrunner.
Now, showrunner, for people that don't know, can you break that down?
Yeah, a showrunner is typically a writer.
Right.
Who has experience in television that can run the entire show, right? Where he can see the vision. Because usually television shows are done with a writer's room where there's like 6 writers.
Okay.
But there's one person that controls the vision of what the show could be.
Right.
And he's the one that can track the story and tell you, you know what, we could do 5 seasons, we could do 4 seasons.
Okay.
Because when you sell a TV show, they ask you for what's called a Bible. And in that TV Bible, it tells you what 5 seasons look like.
Okay. Well,
Budget and everything? Like
Not budget, but
Okay.
just like story.
Okay.
Because like a lot of people don't want to buy a show that's going to die in 1 season. So
Right,
you need to show them, whether they make the 5 seasons, typically your deal in television is for 5 seasons.
Right, the outward vision, right.
Yeah, so the showrunner can help shape that and control. So like, it's just not random stories that don't make sense. He's seeing a bigger vision. Right, so Netflix was like, we need a guy that can showrun the show. You know, like I was considered a non-writing showrunner. They were buying into my vision, but they were like, we need somebody with experience on the writing side. So I brought this writer from Puerto Rico, and they were like, he doesn't have experience. And I was like, nobody's born with experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta,
it's like, this is what we do. You give somebody the chance, and they fucking prove themselves. But they weren't going for that. So they wanted this writer in Mexico named Jorge Durante. But Jorge had a vision too. So I went to Mexico. I told the right ID, I said, let's go to Mexico. Don't
meet with Jorge.
We'll meet with Jorge. And then Jorge, he had a vision, he understood, and he gave us the respect to say, you know what, I know this is your show. I know you got a specific vision, but he helped us craft it. That's what when you see created by, it's me and him.
Okay.
And then we designed the show, and then once
Puerto Rican culture and Mexican culture is not the same.
But what
Like,
people don't know is
it's similar,
I shot the show in Mexico.
I did not know that. No, you fucked me up.
I lived in Mexico 7 months. I shot that
for the
Nicky Jam. I only went to Puerto Rico for 2 weeks.
How about
Boston,
the Colombia? The Colombia
Colombia
scene.
went to Colombia.
Okay,
We went to Colombia for about a month.
Okay.
We shot all the Boston scenes, Lawrence, in Mexico City.
You shot the Boston scenes in Mexico City? What the fuck, yo?
It's crazy.
Damn, you got me, yo.
And then we came to New York for a week.
Wow. So is that saving the budget?
Because the production company I did the deal with, they had great relationships in Mexico. They were in Mexico. They had studios in Mexico, and financially, you know, what people don't understand is that, like, you look at Netflix today, and it's Netflix, right?
Right.
At that time, Netflix didn't break into Latin America.
Right.
Right, so they weren't the Netflix that they are today.
Right.
So Ted Sarandos, when we were shooting, prepping Nicky Jam, he had a huge party in Mexico to announce that they were bringing all this content to Mexico.
Wow.
The only thing outside of content they were just buying, they did the Luis Miguel story. Right, so I don't know if you know, Luis Miguel is a huge, an iconic Mexican singer, but they did his story.
Right.
So when I went to Netflix, they were like, look, the way we're doing these deals is that Netflix takes the rest of the world, and we need somebody else to take the U.S. So they wanted me to make a deal with Telemundo, because in my mind, I was like, I don't know if I want to do a deal with Telemundo, because, you know, no knock to Telemundo, but I felt like this wasn't the right show for them.
Wait, Netflix wanted you to do a separate deal with Telemundo? I'm not understanding. So Telemundo will have exclusive
Broadcasting rights in the U.S.?
Yes. So basically, the way they wanted to design it was that Telemundo will release first in the U.S. Right? What people don't understand, when you do a deal with Amazon, Netflix, they only could buy one territory sometimes. So you do a deal with Netflix, they would only buy the U.S. If you had a meeting in the U.S., that doesn't mean it'll be on Netflix in the entire world.
Right.
You could block out the rest of the world. You can say, yo, you're not giving me enough money. I'm only giving you U.S. rights. And then you go to Amazon and sell the rest of the world.
Right.
So
that's genius, yo. I did not know that.
So a lot of people don't know that. So sometimes they'll make the deal like Netflix, and they give them the world when they don't have to. You know what I mean? Because they can block out. So Netflix was like,
so you can actually say, Netflix, I'm making a deal with you for said cup. But this said cup can only be on the East Coast, for instance, right?
Yes.
And then Netflix says yes, so you can sell this whole other cup on the West Coast, and it's no conflict.
Like places like Cannes Film Festival, they do a lot of those deals like that.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you go to Cannes, those are sales markets, right? So they sell foreign. So when they come to buy, they're saying, France, Italy, everybody's bidding.
Right.
So everybody has their own version of some channels. So you can be on Hulu here, you can be on Amazon here, you can be on Apple here. You don't have to be in one platform across the world. So at that moment, Netflix, in the conversations I had, they didn't have the power in the US with Latinos. So they were like, hey, can you make the same deal Luis Miguel made where Telemundo takes the US first? So in the first 6 months, it lives on Telemundo. And then Netflix will play it in the rest of the world. 6 months after that, they would come back into the US because they felt like Telemundo had 10 million homes that they pump content to Latinos, they can pump it.
Like introducing it.
Now, I wasn't sure that was the right deal.
And Telemundo would have commercials, right? It wouldn't play like...
it would be a little bit different.
Yeah,
But
It's linear. It's linear.
PG.
It's a linear.
Right. And it's PG. It won't have no curses. Okay.
But, that's a big story if you want to hear it.
That's a good one.
That's a tough one because what happened is that sometimes people make a generic deal.
Okay.
When I say a generic deal is that Luis Miguel is like a iconic pop star, right? Like he dated Mariah Carey. Like he was in that.
Oh, he was out there.
He was out there.
Okay.
But he's singing love songs. He's an iconic figure. And he's Mexican.
Non-thug.
All right.
Yeah, he's
Very
Mexican,
classy,
right?
very-
Right.
So they say, because it's another Latino project similar, music artists, they
right.
say, hey, do the same deal
Right.
he has.
Right.
So my partners, Alejandro Rincon, Sergio Pisolante, they were like, okay, we can make a deal with Netflix. With Telemundo. When Netflix told us they wanted us to make this, they were like, we'll put up half the money. Can you go get a deal with Telemundo? Sergio Alejandro was like, oh, we can make that deal happen. My partners on the show, and they made the deal happen like that.
Okay.
So I flew to Mexico, and it was all of a sudden we had this deal with Telemundo. I was like, okay, these guys is moving this stuff. When we started in production, and I started working in Mexico, I didn't see any Puerto Ricans.
All right.
So I had like all these actors come in and they were like playing Daddy Yankee. It was like, no mames, way. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, do something like, no mames. And I'm not, I love the Mexican culture. I'm just saying, I was like, yo, he can't play Daddy Yankee.
They wouldn't want it the opposite way either.
I was like, he can't play Daddy Yankee.
Right.
And they were like, Jesse, don't worry, these are really good actors.
Right.
We're gonna get him a voice coach or like an accent coach. I'm like, all the accent coaches in the world ain't gonna make this dude a fucking Puerto Rican.
Slang and everything.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, look, honestly, I don't care where they come from. I don't care if they're Mexican, Ecuadorian, I don't care. But when they come to the casting, they should just sound Puerto Rican.
Right.
Now, if I believe it, they got the part.
Right.
But they weren't coming in like that.
They weren't method acting.
They weren't method acting. I was like, yo, I know great actors. Look at all the artists from the UK. They come in and kill the accents.
I be offended when I hear them speaking UK. I'm like, motherfucker, I thought you was from the West Coast.
Yeah.
They kill it.
Yeah, they kill it.
So what do you do when you can't find
So what happened was, what do you do when you can't find it? I was like, I called my brother. He got some guy.
Yes. You found Puerto Ricans in Mexico?
No.
Okay.
No, I found some Puerto Ricans in Mexico. So one of the writers, he was like, yo, he knew mad Puerto Rican actors that were in Mexico, but they were like living as Mexicans. You know what I mean? Because they changed their accent because if they're not going to work if they're Puerto Rican.
Wow.
So he started calling a bunch of them like, yo, there's a Puerto Rican project. So they started showing up. So the girl that plays one of the lead characters, Sinead, she's a huge star in Mexico, Colombia, but they don't, she came like, she was like, I could be Puerto Rican. She was like, killed it.
Wow.
And then there was a lot of cats. And it was interesting. There was one cat that played one of Nicki's friends and Lawrence's dad. And he was a black Puerto Rican. And we called him because he was working. He did the Celia Cruz doc, the show. And we called him, and he was like, his agent said that there's nobody his type in our project. I was like, yo, who the hell are these agents? So it was a fight. It was a fight. I kept fighting. And I would get these calls where people like on the Telemundo side were like, well, I know you're not casting a bunch of Puerto Ricans in this thing. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's a Puerto Rican story.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, you got to understand. Like, Telemundo has a thing where they do like a neutral accent. So they were like, we have to like open it up. Like, and they were showing me characters from Spain or different countries to play like the character. I was like, yo, I was like, Nicky Jam, Daddy Yankee, they're still alive. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do a show and look these guys in the faces. This shit ain't authentic. So it was a huge
Lifetime
fight.
story.
It was a huge fight.
Yeah.
it got to a point where I quit the show.
Get out of here.
There was a Mexican female producer that they had put on the project, and she was fighting with me. And then I was like, "Yo, I'm out of here." And then she was like, "Well, you should go because you're damaging the whole project." And I was like, "Oh, I'm gone." Left Mexico, went home, and then she was like, "Good riddance." She called the writer N.O.R.E, my boy, and she was like, "Do you want to direct this thing?" And he was like, "Yo, it's Jesse, he keeps calling me." I'm like, "I was already in LA." I'm like, "I'm good." And then a week later, some lawyers called and were like, "I think you forgot that Jesse owns the rights to Nicky Jam."
Oh, shit.
So it's like, Jesse has the rights to the life story. He was not the guy you should fire.
All right. Wow.
So they were like, okay. So I was like, told my lawyers, I was like, "Yo, we got to fix this." And I was like, "I'm not coming back to Mexico unless I see Puerto Rican actors." And then they were like, okay. They started lining up people. And then I called my brother. I brought him in. I said, "We need to find somebody." He found the kid that played Daddy Yankee in Philadelphia.
Wow. That's a Puerto Rican place.
Boston. No, but
Boss, that's a Puerto Rican place too.
he didn't even have hair.
Really?
Like, he was a young kid losing his hair. He was like 30-something. And Yuli showed me, I was like, he looked like Yankee, but no hair.
Like, oh.
So I was like, bring the wig guy in. We got him a fucking wig. Like, I put him in acting class.
Right.
And we started doing all that stuff. But it was tough because when I was getting ready to release the show, if anybody knows about the show never came out the way it was supposed to. It was supposed to come out like the same day on Telemundo, same day on Netflix. But because I didn't listen and I made an authentic show, the Netflix guys came down and they were like, "Jesse, what's up? What's going on? We're hearing all this
So
stuff."
what did you eventually do? Release it on Netflix first?
I mean, I didn't control that deal. It had to release on both.
Okay.
But when I showed the first cut, Telemundo responded first. So all the producers, they were like, "Yo, this shit sucks. It's not gonna work, blah, 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 blah." So for like a week, I was like the worst director in the planet. So like all my partners were like, "This mother," we knew he was crazy because they never saw the episodes because I was shooting episode 13, 8, 7. They were all blended. They were like, they didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So they were like, "Yo, this is a disaster," right? Because Telemundo says it's a disaster. Then a week, 2 weeks later, Netflix called and they say, "Oh, this shit's gonna be a hit."
Right.
Like,
the exact opposite. Okay.
The exact opposite. So there was a huge fight. And it was funny because I never forget this, and shout out to my boy Ñengo Flow.
Right.
But Ñengo Flow did a scene in the prison. So Telemundo, one of the calls was that they didn't understand the language.
Okay.
They were like, "What are they speaking? Are they speaking Spanish?" Because
Dude, are these people Latino? What the fuck is wrong with them,
yeah,
man?
so they were like, "We might have to subtitle Spanish for real Spanish."
What,
And
from
I was
Spain?
Like,
What the fuck?
And I was like, "You can't do that. If Nikki talks or somebody talks, you can't put like fucking Spanish subtitle." So I was fighting against that. And I remember going to the edit and I slammed the fucking door and they were like, they don't understand. And I pushed play on the Ñengo Flow scene in prison.
Right.
And he was talking. I was like, "Damn, I don't understand shit." It was so much slang.
Right.
But I told him, I said, "That's what's going to
makes
make
it
it
authentic.
special, yo." And I fought. So Telemundo never released it. They said, "Fuck it."
Wow.
The scene.
They never released the show.
Okay.
So when we came out, it only came out in the world. It was not available in Puerto Rico or the United States. So when it came out,
Only on Netflix.
no,
But in other territories, not.
it was
the
never
ones-
available.
6 months.
Right.
For
So when
6
did it come
months.
out at? I don't know.
And it came out on Netflix 6 months later in the U.S.
Okay.
So people were watching
Where
it
did it
because
come out at first?
Netflix in the world.
In the world.
Other than
not
Puerto
US.
Rico, US,
Other than Puerto
mainland,
Rico and US.
So I had the first kind of Puerto Rican show, but it wasn't available in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
So everybody was watching it on YouTube. Stolen versions of it.
Wow.
So it would get like 1 million views and then they would drop it off for copyright.
Bootlegs, right?
Ah.
But that
It was
probably helped the
crazy.
hype too.
It helped the hype, but it hurt us because
Right.
it didn't have the boom at the same time. Then 6 months later, or like 8 months later, during pandemic, it came out during the pandemic, and a lot of people saw it during the
Oh, I
pandemic.
must have been one of them.
But the views were combined.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like these views here, these views here. It wasn't like when you combine the views, it would have been a huge hit.
Did Telemundo wind up picking it
Yeah,
up?
did they come
No,
back?
they released it late at night as like it's
Like-
like a throwaway.
Like a Nelly
Telemundo
a tip
at
trail,
night.
like a tip trail video, like BET after
Telemundo
dark.
after hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Telemundo after dark.
So what happens is that you have to understand that Universal owns Telemundo. It's like one big thing.
And, you,
So-
and Nicky Jam is signed to Universal, correct?
no, he was signed to Sony, but
Okay, my bad.
when it talks about corporate in Hollywood, Telemundo has a show that for them didn't work, right? and for Netflix it was a hit. But Hollywood, Netflix doesn't show numbers.
Right.
So Hollywood has like, you know, Universal, Telemundo, fucking NBC, you know, it's all the same thing. So I would go to meetings where someone would tell me, yo, I heard you did a show called Nicky Jam. I'm like, yeah, man. And somebody, like maybe a Latin person in the room, like, yo, the show was great, it was a hit. And then I'll tell the other guy, yeah, you know, it was a huge boom, blah, blah, blah. Then he'll make a call the next day to Telemundo, and Telemundo will say it was a disaster. Didn't work.
On their end.
So then they would call my agents and be like, yeah, Jesse's a liar, the show didn't work.
They sabotaged it, man.
Well, in Telemundo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Telemundo's a US though, so you have to understand that it doesn't matter. Like what we feel, like what we understand the streets, the culture, they only understand corporate. So if the biggest Latino distributor in the US is telling you a show to Latinos didn't work, you're not listening to me.
It's like they wanted the big credit unions, and that credit union was scoring.
That's it. Equifax said, yo, his credit ain't good. So I was having like love and hate at the same time. So I couldn't get arrested in Hollywood because Hollywood is saying I did a show that didn't work. And then I'm going out and the culture's like, yo, the fucking show's a bomb. So it was crazy, you know?
So let me ask you, right? Because one of my favorite shows that I ever in life is the show called Kenny Powers, right? Eastbound and Down, right? And one of my friends that I know who worked on the set, they said it was too dangerous for them to film in Mexico. So they swapped Mexico for Puerto Rico. What made you swap Puerto Rico for Mexico?
It was really a cost. I love Mexico. Mexico City is one of the best cities in the world.
It didn't appear dangerous to you at all?
No.
Okay.
You know, I think honestly, a lot of that is hype. You know, a lot of Latino countries, when it comes to certain things, are dangerous. So you can't take that for granted.
Just gotta respect where you go.
If I'm in Puerto Rico and I got love in Puerto Rico, I feel like I might be more concerned in Puerto Rico than I would be in Mexico.
Really?
At least in Mexico City, like maybe there's other parts of Mexico, but you know, Puerto Rico is like the South Bronx.
Ain't Mexico City where the little girl got kidnapped and Denzel went and got her?
That was a fictional tale.
That shit seemed real to me. That shit seemed real to me.
Look, I think Mexico gets a bad rap. Now, there's real stuff. Like, Mexico's real. Like, you know, the thing is, when you look at most Latin artists and some of them that grew up in the ghetto and grew up in the streets, like, they're not singing about the streets and the ghetto. Because, like, if they sing about that violence, the violence is right there. Like, they can't, like, have, like, this fake image and then do a tour through Mexico and promote themselves like they're super gangster. Because Mexico's real. People will come knocking on your door. But what I'm saying, it's just not a random thing. If I'm shooting in Mexico, you know, we're not worried about equipment getting stolen. We're not worried about stuff happening. It's not
people like you got to go through the cartels or something like that to get permission?
Nah, you know, maybe not at my level. Maybe if you're an artist and you're moving through, I think you got to worry about stuff. It's like, people talk about, the cartels involved in the music and the corridos and the Mexican music, and it was like, okay, was not the streets involved in hip-hop? Like, you know, reality is like... You know,
it's like people hearing about the U.S. outside of the U.S. now. The U.S. looks crazy to people in other countries.
Like I said, in the beginning of the music video space, before there was agencies and all that stuff, they would send me first to that city to look for the casting. It was no agencies. So it's like
cast locations as well?
No, I mean,
the talent. There was no social media.
Okay, that's right.
You had to physically go meet people.
So like if we were in St. Louis, we would send Yuli, like go to St. Louis like 2 days earlier. Find the talent.
Film the Chiggy video, right?
And Yuli would go find it.
So they would always send me early because there was no agencies. Why would there be agencies in St. Louis? Who's doing videos in St. Louis?
He's doing recon for real.
Yeah, so I would out there. No, so I'm saying we did Tennessee, Cashville, you know what I'm saying? And every city I would go to, it was the same shit. Like as a matter of fact, we shot a Hialeah, you know, a Don Dinero video 20-something years ago, right? And we're shooting the scene. These drug dealers come like, yo, we're losing money. You guys can't shoot here no more. I'm like, yes, we could. We got a permit. They go, like, you know what I'm saying?
Not that permit.
Not this permit. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, oh, shit, what do we do? So
it's a great story.
You know, and then we call
I visualized the whole shit as you said.
No, what I'm saying, so you know, Cat and Nashville,
that era, I would
Mississippi,
get shut down in LA like that. Bloods,
so it don't matter. So that's what people say. Mexico, it's the same shit anywhere.
Around the world,
anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If the outsiders come, if you go to the Bronx, and you can shoot a Bronx.
The hood is the hood, man.
Matter of fact, remember we did that.
The thing is, in Mexico, Colombia, Medellin, everywhere.
It's the same shit.
I never felt that energy that you would feel here.
Right.
Like we were shooting on the block, something with Romeo Santos, and the dudes were like, "Yo, you're messing
More
with
appreciative sometimes. Actually.
Romeo from the Bronx.
No, we shot at his block.
We shot at his block, but what I'm saying is that in New York is more aggressive.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Texas, LA, like it's more aggressive. Like I never felt that in Mexico.
Wow.
Right, but in LA, I got shut down where people were like, "Yo," and they had cops on set.
Wow.
When the cops walked on set, the dude I was telling him, I said, "Yo, why are you trying to shut us down?" He was like, "Yo, man, this is my block," and I'm like, "Yo, this group is from here too." They were like a nice kind of like, R&B soul kind of group, and I was like, "Yo, they're from here too."
Right.
And he was like, "I don't give a fuck." And every time I was trying to shoot like the girls' close-ups, he was like in the back throwing up gang signs. And I was like, "Yo, why you gonna do that?" He's like, "Yo, you want to bang, cuz?" And I was like, "Yo, chill." I said, "Yo, I'm just trying to shoot a video." And then the cop walked up. In LA, you don't have real cops; you have retired cops.
On the set. Okay.
So the old cop walked up, and the dude just turned to the old cop. He said, "What the fuck you gonna do? We got guns too."
Wow.
And then he was like, "Nothing. We're out of here. The set's closed," and I had to leave my set. And I was like, "What kind of shit is that?" In New York, it would have happened. New York, you got real cops.
Said, "Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. You don't want no problem." In New York, you got dudes that is like, "Get the fuck out of here." New York is hardcore, but you deal with that here. You deal with that in other cities. You deal with that in Atlanta. Like, in Mexico, you don't see that.
Wow.
I mean, you got to think that, like, it's not corner drugs in Mexico. It's not corner gangsters. Not guys that own blocks.
Right.
It's guys that own cities. You know what I mean?
Costco.
Those dudes ain't coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they different.
Like, we've only had shootouts in New York, right?
Yeah.
That's it. No, nowhere else. In New
Wait,
York,
shootouts on the set?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that?
I'm trying to think now because I'm looking at N.O.R.E. going, "Was N.O.R.E. on that set?"
No, I was not. I'm claiming that right now. Don't tell me Busta Rhymes said, touch it.
It was DJ K. Slade.
Oh shit! I heard about this.
Brown,
That was uptown,
Brown.
in the projects.
Yes.
Okay, what happened? Tell us. You don't know. I think I was at that video.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think. I think you was.
Allegedly. No. But what does that happen? Because obviously, I know the artist's point of view, right?
It had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with us, and that's the problem. But this is where the city kind of puts you in a bad situation.
Right.
And you know better than me. K. Slade had his apartment in where you had to go do the mixtape.
Yep.
So when
he would throw you the keys out the window, you grab the keys out the window, and you go upstairs and you record it. Like you're still in the hood. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. So it was him. It was
rest in peace, K. Slade.
It was Nas. Rest in peace. Yes. It was Nas. It was I think Baby from Cash Money. There was a bunch of people on the song.
Okay.
So when we put in the permit for the city, they denied the permit on K. Slade's block.
Right.
Because basically, like, some of the precincts, they have to approve. So, like, when you submit the permit, they call the precinct. Like, "Hey, can we get a permit? They want to shoot it." And people that might hate that a lot of rappers come to his house said, no. The precinct was like, we don't want to deal with that headache. So they canceled our permit. And the video was like 2 days later.
Wow.
So we're like, shit, what do you do? So then somebody was like, then I hired a location scout that got us a projects in Yonkers.
Okay.
Wasn't his neighborhood.
Right, yep.
So we go to Yonkers to shoot the video. So we're shooting the video, and you have all these artists coming up, and K. Slade had a bunch of people coming up. Because I remember Lloyd Banks, this, that, like people that weren't on the song, Ray Kwan, people were just showing up. N.O.R.E. potentially, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But all these people were showing up, so it drew out the whole projects.
Right.
But what had happened, it drew out other projects nearby.
Right. That wasn't probably getting love. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it started getting hectic in terms of crowd, and I remember my boy Dana, who was a kid that grew up in my neighborhood, and when he came home, I gave him an opportunity to start working on sets. And
as security or?
No, he was working he ended up starting to work as a grip.
Okay.
Like dealing with like the electricity and the sort of functionality of the set, because he couldn't interact with the people, and that's another story.
Okay.
He was a gangster dude.
Okay, I get it.
But he came up to me and he was like, yo, Jess, man, it's about to be a problem. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, look at the playground, and like everybody's grabbing the kids and like bringing them inside. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, what kind of problems is this? And then all of a sudden, like, fucking they started letting off. Shit just cleared out. And I just remember because my boy Dana, like, he dug me under a bench. He was like, she was crazy. Some guy that got shot, they put him in the car, they took off. We had cops on set. They didn't do nothing but be on the floor like us. After the shit was over, they were like, set's over. And Foxy had got there late.
Right.
I'm not saying that she shows up late, but she had got there late.
This time she did.
This time.
Okay.
So I remember going in the trailer, and she had wanted me to shoot her before. I was shooting A.Marie.
Okay.
But she got there late, and I was shooting A.Marie. So I was like, yo, let me finish with A.Marie. And I was like, yo, don't worry about it, man. We're going to get to your part. And then the shootout happened.
Oh, wow.
So then I had to go in there, her brother, Pretty Boy, whatever. He was like, yo. And she was like, this is one motherfucker. She started going off on me. The video was fucking over.
Right, yeah.
But I was like looking at her brother like, yo, I got nothing to do with this. And then she was like, he got shot in the leg. This is hip hop.
Keep it going. Don't close the club. Keep the party going.
And I was like, I'm out of here.
Shit.
It's crazy.
Well, our show is about giving people their flowers where they can smell them, their drinks where they can drink them, their thoughts where they can think them. We wanted to give y'all flowers face to face, man to man. Tell y'all how much we appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everything that y'all do. Because we don't have a lot of people in this field that do what y'all do. And again, I let this promote to these kids or to these people that's following the culture, these people that want to be involved in the culture, that it's not always, to be behind the camera. You know what I mean? There's so many other jobs. That's why we know about the directing call, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know about even a casting thing even exists. Like, I don't even think that, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many people. So that's the reason why we just really wanted to give y'all flowers, man, and let y'all know, man, how much we appreciate y'all, man. And let's keep it going.
How do y'all feel about AI now and dealing with one of my boys in my crew, Michael Garcia? He's a big music video director as well.
I know his work.
And I talk to him all the time about this, and he's conflicted about the technology and what it's going to do.
I would say that I'm conflicted too, but it's like, if you see a tsunami coming, at some point you got to leave the beach. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, you don't want to be on the other side of the bridge when it's the wrong time, right? So you have to adapt. Is it going to change the way we see cinema? To a certain extent, right? I think the consumption of a content is different. You see like the younger kids consuming streamers, or they're consuming different type of content.
Right.
But it's like, there's a certain bracket of people that still consume content the way we consume content. So I don't think it's gonna eliminate talent, so like, I think AI, you wanna use it as a tool to enhance what you're already doing. Now, in some regards, if you're whack or you're mediocre, yeah, it's gonna replace you. Right, because it's like, if you're whack and you're mediocre, it's gonna replace you. But at some point, it's like, people are gonna look at who can take the AI and do better stuff. Unfortunately, what that also means is that if they used to pay $100 for something, they want to pay $20. Because the technology could fill that 80.
Yeah.
And that's hard, because as a filmmaker, as a person that has a team, how do you eliminate people from your team? How do you eliminate the value of certain things? So does AI do great stuff? Yes. Is it there where sometimes we watch on the internet the commercial of AI? So we all work in the business. The commercial didn't happen yesterday. They've been 6 months with this campaign. So when they roll out the campaign, they make everybody think that you can do that.
Right.
Then everybody pays the $29.99 or the $39.99, and they're there and they realize they're not editors and they can't fucking do it, and shit looks weird, and then they just already got the money. They already got the $39.99, they got the membership, and then maybe 6 months from now, it'll do something that you really wanted it to do. It's an amazing tool, and it is gonna shift the game, so you have to really figure out how to implement it into your lifestyle. You cannot push it away.
You don't think that the big studios though would eventually phase out the traditional filmmakers for just people who
ChatGPT directors
that know how to use the AI systems?
Potentially, but today there was a thing that I saw about Lionsgate, who did a deal with Runway early, and there's an issue with copyright. So there's an issue with copyright.
There's a huge issue with copyright.
That still hasn't been figured out.
Right.
So I was uploading a song. You know, I have my own record label, Terrero Music Group. Let me shout it out. But we were onboarding a song with Symphonic, and they were like, what parts of this have been AI driven, right? Like, what part of this song is AI? And I was like, what is that about? I asked them, and they were like, it's not about anything, but we wanted to get ahead of it.
Right.
Because what could happen in 6 months is that if your song is AI driven, they might ask, what was your prompt? And if your prompt was like, I want something that sounds like Timbaland's record,
right?
Then Timbaland's gonna get paid off your shit because you use his, you know.
Okay. Or what the AI actual model was mining from, because that's the other problem.
Exactly.
But,
so
let me say one thing. This is when I hated and loved AI for the first time. Sopranos. Remember the mom died.
Yes.
And you could tell that she didn't finish her script. So do you remember that? When the mom died and they used her, but they used her where you could tell it was AI.
No.
You don't remember what
No, but in the Sopranos, that was visual effects. It wasn't technical.
That wasn't AI.
No,
okay.
no,
That was visual effects. Because remember, she died in real life.
Yes,
right. And then they had
that was visual effects. Like, see, there's a big difference. AI, visual effects is somebody controlling the atmosphere.
That's what they had Tupac doing on stage, right? That was visual effects.
Yeah.
When they had Tupac on stage.
When they created
the hologram?
The hologram, yeah.
AI is something like where if we're here and I took a picture and I want to change the environment, I just press one button and it does it on its own.
Wow.
Without the use of another
completely
human.
On its own.
I mean?
Wow.
So look, the AI is incredible.
Right.
It's about consistency, but you know, what happens sometimes too is like, who owns it? So imagine I do an AI and I say, yo, I want to make an AI about this, you know? And then I create something that's cool, starts going viral. And then you say, I want to make the AI about that. AI is going to make you the same thing. Wow. You can sell t-shirts and the same thing that I just created, but I don't own it because AI...
So none of us is in copy infringement if we do it like that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, who owns the IP? That's the big thing.
Okay.
Right? So that's why the studios are suing Midjourney, because they're like, you're telling people are typing in, I want a show that looks like Pixar. Right. And they're creating characters in the style that they created.
Right.
So it's like, how do you own it if you're copying the style?
Remember, think about the sample of Vanilla Ice. It's dun 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 dun. He goes, no, mine is dun 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 dun. That's different. That little different. They're trying to say, no, it's not the same.
So it's like somebody like pulling up a beat and saying, I want the song to sound like Oye Mi Cando.
Right.
Yeah.
And
then I told the shit the other day. I said, I want what? I want that shit. Yeah. And they came in your voice and everything. It sounded great.
It might change a note.
I know somewhere now that they're in London. I mean, I'm not gonna say London. They're somewhere now, and they have the actors there talking to AI because they're doing a whole movie AI generated. So the actors are licensing their IP for the movie. They're like this. So it's like
all they got to do is basically go to the studio and not on set.
No, but they're talking to AI. They're drinking. They're hanging out. They're chilling. So AI can
learning them. So AI, okay.
And then AI is gonna do the movie with the images in it. So the whole entire movie, the whole entire movie is gonna be AI. The whole entire movie.
Time out. Are these actors acting when they talking to AI, or they being themselves?
No, they're just chilling. Like say right now,
themselves so they can pick up their man.
They're getting it references. They're getting it references.
So they're getting paid right now a lot of money to hang out, chill, drink, fight, argue. So and then they'll talk to AI in different tones, different energy, so AI can get their mannerisms, so they can recreate them in this movie that's not going to be real. And then another thing that's happening now with AI as a casting director. So now women or actors are doing AI reels. So they're like in action movies, running, chasing, fighting aliens and stuff, and they're sending me their reels of something they've done before. But it's all AI generated, and they look incredible. So I love them. I have to come into the casting.
I love them.
No, they're incredible. Like, oh my God, I have to come to the casting. And
She can fly.
Then they walk in like this. And I'm like, oh my God, who are you? Godzilla? Like, no, I'm Jenny from the. I'm like, Jenny. And I'm like, Jenny, you look nothing like that. Well, you know, it's a little polish. It was a whole different.
Well, you ain't seen the thing with the podcasters? It's all over Instagram where they show a dude and then he shows himself as a chick doing a podcast or live streaming, and he looks like a chick and he sounds like a chick and everything.
No, it's
hell no.
Yeah. My brother's hardcore though. And sometimes he'd be like, yo, come to my acting class, and like let's say we're in a room like this and there's a door that opens the acting class, like he'll put like 100 chairs, like stacked. Like if the acting class starts at 3 p.m., at 3:01, he puts like 100 chairs like stacked against the door. So like I'll be there and I'm like, what are you doing? And he'll be like stacking all these chairs. And then someone comes in at 3:02 and those chairs like just go.
Oh, they all fall. Oh, okay.
And then he's like, let's see what the excuse this person got. You were busy. Oh, the traffic on the train. Did anybody else take the train? That's hardcore.
That's hardcore. I love being on time.
It's called acting rehab. That's my class. I've been doing it for 20
years. Let's talk about that, because you have acting classes.
Yeah.
One of my homegirls, as soon as I told her, she was like, like her friends go to your acting classes. This is in New York City?
No, I do it. I used to do it in person, and then when
virtual,
when COVID happened, somebody just
doing the Lower East Side.
Somebody just with a Zoom.
Right.
So then I started the Zoom thing. I've done it all over the place: New York, Puerto Rico, LA, whatever, Miami. But then Zoom happened, and then my classes sell out in 2 seconds because 3 people from Queens, 3 people from LA, and then so it's been Zoom. But then I would cast people, and then they would come to set and freak out. Because they were just great on TV, not in person. So now it's 150 people, crew, lights, camera, action, they panicked. So now I do pop-ups every once in a while. Like 2 months in, I would have a pop-up and do it in person, so see what happens or whatever. But acting rehab was created.
He's a tough teacher.
No, it's not tough. It's that people gotta tell you. No.
He could be right on the board of cancelable. Like everybody's got to cancel. No. In a good way. But he's hard because you know what happens is that like in our culture, and that's why he started the acting class. In our culture, everybody just think they're natural.
Oh, don't start. You'll bring him in now. Hold on a second. I'm bring you in right now.
Man. Let's go. We go anywhere. Let's go.
You were the Burger actor rehab.
I was a what? I was a terrible actor?
No.
You didn't say you were the Burger actor rehab.
The bourbon?
Okay. You got me drinking this shit.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I had a drink. I don't know when's the last time I had a drink.
You gotta give your flowers, man.
When's the last time I had a drink? I'm doing
hold on, let me but part of that was started because like a lot of times my brother was the one that had to get like Latino actors, and you know a lot of people come in and they're just like, if you study people, I think I'm natural, I'm a star. You know?
And that's
like, and they have like one sentence. They can maybe do one sentence as their persona, you know? And they can't go beyond that, and you know, because they don't have the ability, they don't have the structure to work.
Skills, right?
And so he's tough. I've been in his acting. He's tough on the people, and I think they like it because he's like, you know, he's forward-facing, like, oh, he's terrible, you're whack. Like, he's hardcore, and I'm just like, you gotta slow it up.
Nobody likes it. Everybody hates me until 2 years later I get the phone call. Oh my God,
I just got that
I was
role.
in this casting, and this happened, and I did that, and it was so impressive. I got the job. I love you. But you hated me for 2 years, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, and I tell everybody, well, you're gonna love me later.
It's like, you know, you're old school. You hung up the phone this way.
No, but I tell you the birth of acting rehab.
Okay, go ahead.
So we did a casting for a movie called Prison Song.
Prison Song, that's right.
In 1999, right? And it's crazy. I still have the VHSs.
Okay, wow.
And everybody came in for that. Eve, it's 5 people dead in the. I was watching the videos like 6 months ago, and there's like 5 people passed away. Prodigy, Murder Santana, a bunch of people on that.
Wow.
You know, anyway, so That was, like I said, it was in the era that Darnell Martin directed that movie. I was casting it. Jesse came in to help me with it.
Darnell Martin, that was your
the director
homie, right?
of that, okay. So she did like it like that.
Okay,
So she brought me in. She fought the studio to let me cast the movie. They wouldn't let me do it. She said, well, I'm not doing the movie then. You know, she held me down like that. Right. So then Jesse was in LA, so I was like, yo, Jesse, come to New York, let's do this prison song.
But side story to jump in, when I got Soul Plane, I told them that my brother was gonna cast it, and he had mad credits at this point. And they said the same shit.
What?
That he couldn't cast it.
Wow.
They were like, and I was like, you know what? They wanted to see a different face, so those ladies I work with, I called Sheila, and I said, yo, Sheila, I'm doing this movie. They trying to hate on my brother. Can you come in and do it with my brother, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she said, yo, I got you. She said, I got you.
And they accepted Sheila. Let's make some noise for Sheila.
We've been fighting for 34 years. You know, and we're still fighting for Latinos to get in the building. Anyway, so we do a prison song, right? So I saw everybody in New York that was black, that called themselves an actor, and every rap star, anybody that was anybody in New York, he can't call prison song. Originally, it was New Line Films. It was like $15 million. That was a big deal for New York, right? So I saw everybody, right? And everybody that came in was terrible. Superstars, I was big fans of.
Damn, you gotta tell them they're terrible.
And they were terrible. No, they know. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
no, it's true.
Even Bon Jovi came in.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
But he ended up getting cast.
No, we had.
Oh shit, it was Snow.
Bon Jovi didn't do it then. Bon Jovi didn't do it then.
Oh, he got the Bon Jovi part, the one that Bon Jovi took.
It was everybody, but nobody was an actor. This was in the 90s. Nobody was acting. Nobody knew how to do it. So then this guy walks in.
Okay, let's talk about it. I was Denzel Washington.
No.
I don't even know.
This is when Drink Champ started. This is when Drink Champ started.
Okay, I came in drunk?
No, you didn't.
Okay, what?
You came in sober. Came in sober.
Left drunk.
Came in sober, and it didn't work out. Like, the scene didn't agree, right? So I was like, yeah, man. I'm not sure if it worked out. I was like, give me a minute. And he left. For like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Then he comes back in. Voila!
I can see him doing that exactly.
He's like, okay, action. He's like, say the lines was like, yo, what's up, brother? What's good? He's like, yo, what's up, brother? What's good? You smell me? And we're like, yo, that's not in the script. He's like, come on, you don't smell me? Come on, like, let's go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, and the director was like, no, I like that smell me thing. Let him keep doing that. And we're like, all right, cool. So
I've never read up the script in my life.
Smell me thing, right? So she's like, oh my God, I love this smell me thing. Let's cast him. Then we cast him. He comes to set like a couple of weeks later. We're in the Bronx somewhere. Jerome on the train. He pulls up. He gets into his trailer. He's like, yo, where the fuck's the Hennessy? I'm like, Hennessy? What are you talking about? He goes, remember? When I went out, I got the Hennessy and came back. I'm like, I don't know that. I thought you did some push-ups or something, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo. I'm like, yo, it's 6 a.m.
And you know what else? I remember they tried to give me a car, and I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna use my own car. So I used my own car. That was my own car. But yo, you know what? Let me tell you a funny story about that.
That's funny, man.
When they casted this shit, I'm not casting. Excuse me. When they do like a screening premiere, just for the actors or whatever. So I don't know it's Mary J. Blige right in front of me. So I go in there, and Mary J. Blige and a couple of other, I believe Q-Tip is there.
Yeah, Q-Tip.
And this is like a private screening. And you know, I love myself. So I was like, oh, I killed this shit. I had 2 roles. I was like, oh! And I'm sitting there and I'm kicking the chair the whole time, like I'm in a real movie theater. But I'm not realizing there's someone in this chair. Not only am I not realizing there's someone in this chair, I'm not realizing
you're that bad kid kicking the chair.
I mean, this is one of those. Like, I don't think she felt it, but I'm sure she heard it, and I'm sure it's like something. And then at the end of the day, she was like, "Yeah, that was you calling?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was so starstruck. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Mary." And she was like, "And by the way, you didn't even say hi to me the whole time." I was like, "Yo, I didn't even know I feel like it was Mary." I'm sorry, it was my starstruck moments.
Mary was the biggest star in that movie in the
Yes,
sense that
yes.
nobody could talk to her, just me. I was the only person who could talk to her. I was like, this is great.
Right.
That was great.
So, now moving on. Now, this is a question. Why isn't there no Latinos in Soul Plane?
There is. The biggest
Good question. That's a good question.
The biggest
Which
one?
That's a good question. Let me tell the story. So
Okay.
when I was working on the project, you know the movie Trading Places?
Trading Places.
yeah.
Goddamn.
That's a great movie.
You talking about Eddie Murphy Trading Places?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I was working on the movie
with
that
Dan
was-
Aykroyd. What's his
Yeah,
name?
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, I was close.
So I wrote a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you saw the kid. You know, hey, she's on Let's go.
Good.
So I wrote a concept that was like Trading Places about this kid who like these rich guys who like the airline was down and they gave him there.
Okay.
So I sent it to my agency.
Oh, because they had Soul Plane already, right?
I didn't know at that time.
Okay,
So
cool.
I wrote this idea and I sent it. And they were like, oh, blah, 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 we think it's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they talked to people in Hollywood, they was like, oh, there's a project called Soul Plane.
Yeah. They
I didn't like the name.
both.
I didn't like the name. So I was like, yeah, Soul Plane, like, they don't got to be called that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So they were like, yo, but this movie's already going at MGM.
Right.
So if you want, blah, 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 take a meeting with them. So I took a meeting with them and then I ended up getting the movie.
Right.
So
You wanted to did you combine your movie with their movie, and that's what Soul Plane is?
I
Or
tried.
more
I
so
tried
their
to a
movie?
certain extent, and you know.
But they didn't buy your script or anything like that, or
They didn't buy my script, but they might hate me for this story.
Okay.
So anyway,
Soul Plane 2, your script. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, the Soul Plane crashes in Puerto Rico, and
so
Thank you.
I felt the story needed rewrites.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, the movie needs rewrites, And they had me meet with a bunch of writers. So I met with these two black writers and the Asian kid. They were like a team.
Right.
And I was like, these guys are the guys, yo. This shit is
Right.
the funniest version of the movie.
Right.
And I was like, we're going with them. They pitched us a movie. It was fucking great, blah, blah, blah. And then cut to like a month later. Cut to like a month later. And I'm sitting in the room, in the conference room, and there's like a dude that's not them on the other side of the room. And he's like, yeah, we're going to do this, change.
Is the writer?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
wow.
going to do these changes. He's
Right.
telling me everything these three kids.
Didn't tell you.
No, the same thing they told me.
He just jacked their shit.
Yeah. So I was like, yo. So this was like my first like Hollywood moment. I was like, yo, I can't do this. Like, these kids, I was just like, yo, we got you, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they gave us the best ideas. And this dude is giving me all the ideas.
Same exact ideas.
So I called my agent
Right.
and I was like, yo, this don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not right. This kid just stole their ideas.
Right.
So when I went to the studio, they were like, he's just a better writer. Like, meaning these kids were so young, they're not good writers. So I said, why the fuck did you have them meet with me? To steal their shit?
Right,
Is that the
yeah.
concept here? So I was like, yo, I told my agent, and he stuck by me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Charles King. Charles King's an incredible fucking dude.
Right.
And we fought it, and then they let those kids write the movie.
Oh, so they
The three kids came back.
Came back,
They
okay.
did the rewrites. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because I was just like, yo, I couldn't stomach this if I ever saw them again.
yeah.
So we started writing it. So at some point, I was like, before we cast Kevin or whatever, I was working with Chris Robinson. So let's go
Right.
back to that story.
Okay.
Right. So I was working with Chris Robinson writing concepts. So Chris would do like a retreat every
Right.
year. Like he was like, let's do a retreat for the robot films.
Okay.
Let's go to Brazil.
Fire.
But it didn't happen that way. What happened was
Not that fire.
no. Chris took us to Mexico, man.
Okay.
But that particular story, what happened was that Chris was like, when I saw Snoop and this is another story. I met Snoop outside of the music business.
Okay.
On some street shit.
Okay, wow.
I met him outside of the music business, but I go to the MTV Awards, I'm nominated, I'm fucking with Chris. I see Snoop, so we were like talking, and Snoop's like, yo, I got you, my brother, I'm gonna give you a bag tomorrow, call me, you know, blah, blah, blah. So Chris was like, yo, like he had never been to Snoop's house before. Snoop was like, come to his house tomorrow.
Right.
We had the MTV Awards. He was the biggest artist in the world.
Right.
So Chris was like, damn, I did like 4 videos with Snoop. I've never been to his house.
Wow.
So Chris was like, yo, I'm gonna rock with you. I'm gonna go to the house. So we go to Snoop's house. And Snoop is like, he starts playing a bunch of music. And he gives me a job. Well, where was I going with the story? I wasn't going.
He was asking you about why no Latinos in Soul Plane.
Yeah.
That's where it all started.
Yes. So no, but this is where it's going. I just want to make
But
sure.
you ended up in Brazil, so that's good.
No, but this is where it's going. So Snoop is like, he plays me a song that he gives me out of his heart. 150 grand in that era.
I think I know where you might be going with this.
So he gives me 150 grand in that era
Right.
to do a video for him.
Right.
I was nominated at the MTV Awards for Jill Scott, Long
Right.
Walk.
Right.
And I see Snoop at the MTV Awards. He was the biggest rapper in the world. And he sees me and Snoop, like I said, I met him in the street. So he shows me mad love and everybody's like, yo, how do you know Snoop? You know what I mean? And Snoop's like, yo, he says random stories. Like, me and Jess fucked the same bitches, but it was just random shit.
I wasn't ready.
Maybe he was fucking some bitches I didn't know about. My girls.
Right.
But he just said it as a joke. But everybody was confused of how I knew Snoop, but I had met him.
They couldn't connect you guys. Right.
They couldn't connect, but when he invited me to his house to take care of me, and Snoop showed me the love, he said, yo, I'm gonna give you a video. Come to my house tomorrow. Chris was like, yo, shit, you going to Snoop's house? So Chris came with me, and he played the song he wanted me to do the video. And Snoop out of his, Snoop, I love Snoop Dogg.
Right.
He gave me the money out of his love and said, yo, I'm gonna fucking push Jessy Terrero forward. He gave me a job, I did it. But while we were at his house, Chris Robinson, at that time, Dan Martell, which I worked with, did a video for Snoop's That album. And then Chris was like, yo, what's up? Like, Chris was working with Snoop. And Snoop was like, yo, Chris, man, I saved this best shit for you. And he pressed play to Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And when he played Beautiful, we were like, holy shit. So I was like, yo, let's go to DR. We were talking about a bunch of places, and nobody had ever been to Brazil.
That's why I knew it.
So we were like, fuck it, let's go to Brazil. So we ended up going to Brazil, and Snoop and Chris Robinson, that moment, said, you know what, his retreat for every year was going to be Brazil.
I would have changed it to that too.
Yeah,
y'all
so
did a
he
work
brought
retreat.
everybody to Brazil. So we went to Brazil. So when I was in Brazil, that's when the news of Soul Plane was coming out. And Snoop was like, yo, Jess, we was like having a Snoop session, and he was like, I want to fly the plane, dog. And at that point, we had already cast John Witherspoon.
Oh,
John
shit.
Witherspoon was going to fly
That's
the
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, he was going to fly the plane.
Pops, right?
He was
For
going to
Friday.
fly the
Friday.
plane.
Okay.
He already was cast.
All right, okay.
So Snoop was like, yo, I want to fly the plane, dog. So, we were so fucked up. I was like, we were high as shit. I was like, you don't fly the plane.
This sounds perfect.
I was like, I know, but I told him, you don't really fly the plane, dog.
Right.
But he was like, I want to fly the plane. So I went back to MGM and I said, yo,
Snoop wants to fly the plane.
Snoop wants to fly the plane. And the MGM guys were like, they were, man, super corporate, and they were like, oh, he's a gangbanger, he's this, he's that. I was like, have you ever met Snoop Dogg? Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, I was like, look, do me one favor. Let's go to Snoop's house, have one meeting with Snoop, and if you feel different, then whatever. So then Snoop invited us to the church. He has his house here at the church.
Yeah.
He invited us to the church, and they were getting searched on the way in. So like, they were getting patted down. And we went in, and Snoop was so funny. They had an incredible time with Snoop. So they were like, yo, so they went with Snoop. So after we cast that, I had a little more strength because it's like now I got Snoop. Because Kevin Hart, you got to think about it, he wasn't a star at that moment.
Yeah, no,
I fought for Kevin because I
he
thought
only had Paper Soldiers. That's with me too. I'm also in that movie.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do Paper Soldiers.
Yeah. But go ahead.
No, so when we ended up casting Snoop, we had John Witherspoon.
Okay.
Monique, a bunch of people. Kevin was one of the last pieces too because Kevin wasn't a star at that time.
Right.
So I told the studio, I said, hey, and this was crazy because I told him, I said, I was Latino. Yo, let me tell
When
you.
you had to tell the studio you was a Latino, they didn't know?
No. But let me tell you, when I told them,
Right. Oh, because why? Was this over the phone?
no, when I in my meetings, I had an office at MGM.
Don't tell me they wanted to fire you after that.
Yes, almost.
Almost.
Wait,
Because
what?
their eyes were like, holy shit.
You're not black.
You're not black.
This is how clueless they are about the diversity.
They were like,
Oh, I get what you're saying. Now I understand.
They're like, how can I do a movie if I'm not black? It's a black movie.
Right.
So they were like hiring me because I was doing hip hop videos. They thought I was black, and when I told them I was Latino, they were like, yo.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, chill.
That's hilarious.
It's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? The black community loves you. But they were so worried. I was like, yo, what the fuck? But I did tell them because they were like, I said, look, man, I can't do this movie if I don't put Latino characters in it because I got to at least show part of my culture. And so I wrote a stewardess that had one line, and I wrote these 2 Latino kids that worked like baggage check. And they were like, fuck that. They were trying to go on the plane, so they snuck inside the baggage claim thing.
Oh, shit.
So MGM was like, we read your changes in the script and the Latino 2 male characters, they're a no-go. But the hot Latina stewardess, she's a go with the one line. So I was like, okay. So I told the casting director, with Yuli, they were like, what do you want? I say, I sent them a video with Sofia Vergara because she was popping in Colombia. I say, yo, I want a Sofia Vergara type. And then all of a sudden, they worked it out, and she came into the casting.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, it's fucking Sofia Vergara. And
The real one.
The real one.
She was a Spanish star.
You wanted the fake
She
one.
hadn't crossed over yet?
You wanted the AI one. You wanted the AI
One
one.
line. I just wanted a Sofia Vergara
Nah,
type.
that's crazy. She hadn't
She
crossed over
was a
yet.
novela star, not an American
No,
star.
she hasn't crossed over. This is 20 years.
So this is her first crossover.
English
That's
thing, yeah.
dope.
Wait, so it's 20 years ago?
Yeah.
More than that.
20,
I didn't even realize
22.
that.
Yeah, we're old, bro.
Because it's such a classic.
22 years ago.
It feels like it came out last year every year.
So when she walked into the room, I was like, it's Sofia Vergara. I wanted a Sofia Vergara type. It was one sentence.
Damn, how did she get in the cast?
So I was like, Ulysses, flower time. But they got her to come in. So I was like, wow. So I told Sophia, I said, you want to be in this movie? She said, her son had read it.
Right.
She had a son young, so she had a son that had read it, and she hadn't done American movies. So she was like, I want to do it. So I said, you know what? You want to be in this movie? I'm going to put you in this entire movie. And I rewrote the movie, and that's why she's one of the stars in the movie.
Here I am looking for Latino presence, and I was like, I didn't realize that because
And then she was in your face.
Yeah, but she's so embedded in my brain. I didn't even think like that.
Good on Princess Song. I wrote you the whole movie.
So you brought her to the movie?
Yeah, did the cast
That's
of the
dope.
movie.
No, my brother, because they try to hate on him, and then
That's right. 'Cause you said you brought. Right.
Sheila co-signed, and she had the studio comfortable, and he ran the whole thing.
And I still have the video of that too. Her audition, she had like 2 lines. It's mind blowing. Her little 2 lines. Then Jesse was like 10 pages.
Let me tell you, Sophia, because she was a novella star at the time, she was gigantic, beautiful, fucking, she was ready to be a star.
Right.
She would come to set, and because maybe in the Spanish television, they did whack makeup, you know what I mean? She would do her own makeup. And I would tell her, like, yo, there's makeup artists in the trailer. This is a studio movie.
Right.
No, está bien.
Yes.
And she would just chill. And she didn't, she had this thing where it was beautiful because she was like beautiful and hot, but she had this like force field that made you feel like
Don't
I want to
come
be
too
cool
close.
with her, but not say no stupid shit.
Right,
She
too close,
had
Like
a
she
cool
commanded respect.
Yeah, she was cool.
She bite people.
She bite people?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah,
You know
spread
what's
the rumor.
interesting is that an interesting anecdote is that when I worked with Diane, she did Meth and Mary during the time. that
Diane
I was
Martell, rest in peace.
Meth and Mary.
we cast.
And Method Man is in Soul Plane.
But let me ask you something about that. Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. It was a rumor that Method Man took that role very, very serious.
Oh no, he's a beast.
Yo, beyond serious.
Go ahead, tell us.
So,
beast.
look, we see where Method Man's career is.
Yep.
Right. Because we had Method on here and we had Snoop on here, and we both asked them. So now we got to act. Now, by the way, this is you guys behind the camera. So how did this come up? Because
Meth is a thespian now. Like,
he told me he took it really serious.
Yeah. Let me tell you, everything Method Man's done, he takes serious. So does Snoop. So they're both similar in terms of work ethic. But what happened was that, you know, I was already fighting for Snoop.
All right.
So people don't understand the fights for a Method Man. You know what I mean? They just see, like, you call the agents, but I'm like on the other side telling them a Method Man could be a star of a comedy. You know what I mean? It's tough. You know, like, I built a fucking platform for Kevin Hart to walk on so he could be tall enough to fit in the frames of people because they didn't see him as like a leading man.
He did look taller than Soul Plane.
He did.
Think about it.
Pull up the poster. Somebody pull up the poster.
What did the little people say? He was heightening. He was heightening.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was heightening. Like that's what the little people said.
Somebody pull up the poster.
Yeah, no, not me. I'm not the Googler. But that's crazy.
Same story how you fought for him?
Yeah.
He was between him and the other person.
All right. So the first person you cast on Soul Plane.
No. So it was different people we cast. So what I'm saying is that when Snoop to the trip to Brazil, I fought for Snoop. He got cast.
Okay.
But Method Man, he put in the work.
So he had the audition?
No, he put in the work, Method Man, as an actor, and it was about being serious. Because, you know, at that time, rappers weren't serious, so we don't know what we're going to get.
Right.
So part of, like, what the studio might have asked from a Method Man at that time was that you can't smoke, no weed, no this, no that, because they were like, yo, we don't want that shit on our set.
Right.
Right? We want to control it. We want to be cool. Like, we want to be professional, whatever. Snoop, we got for 5 days. And he was one of the big stars of our movie.
He smoked every day.
So when we got Snoop and I was able to close that deal, we had to try to figure it out. And Snoop had a big altercation at the time with Suge and a bunch of shit that had happened. So we had a lot of police and people after us. And so we had to create this environment. So we built an environment inside the studio because let's say Snoop was in his trailer and he was smoking weed, the cops could maybe enter because he was doing something illegal. So we had to build something.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, it's not what people thought. Like, Method Man might have thought we gave him, like, extra privilege, but it wasn't because Snoop was under, like, a different situation. So we built inside the studio a room for Snoop that had fucking ventilators and a bunch of shit because we know he was gonna smoke. But he couldn't smoke in the trailer because he had a mad drama and there was this drama with Sugar. It was a bunch of stuff. So we shot maybe 4 or 5 days with Meth. He was on point, like no smoking, no this and that. And Meth was a motherfucker. He's disciplined.
Was he doing push-ups?
Not that I saw.
I'm just playing around. Go ahead.
But when Snoop got there, and Meth hooked up with Snoop, and he saw this room we built with ventilators.
Right.
So Snoop
Oreo cookies.
You made me fucking do this shit, and you let this motherfucker. And it wasn't about that, but you know, I felt bad because it wasn't about that, but it was about Snoop was in a tough situation. We were just trying to make the best situation we could.
Okay.
You know, but for me as a director, I also didn't want the artist to be perceived a certain way from the studio because I'm trying to protect them too because I'm like, we want to make more movies like this, you know?
Right. So let me ask you, right? Because, you know, I never claim that I discovered Pharrell because I didn't discover Pharrell, right? I just worked with him on a come up and he became who he is, but that was like his first, you know, outright hit was with me.
Yo, let me tell you.
Was with him. Yeah.
Pharrell, not to cut you off, Pharrell is incredible.
Right.
I discovered him from this kid from Left Rack City.
Okay. So
and then the last story, the story I just told about Snoop.
Yeah.
Who came with us to Brazil?
That's
Pharrell.
That's right. So check it, right? So I never kind of claim that, but I do claim the fact that, you know, we both took that journey together. You know what I'm saying? Like first hit record that he's in the video, like outright. Well, this is arguably like Kevin Hart's first hit movie, right? Like, you know, like he was in Paper Soldiers before that, and I don't remember what else. But this is his outright Soul Plane, and it's a cult following, right, to this day. But so you got Method Man, you got Snoop. How did you cast Kevin Hart, and what made you cast, for lack of a better term, unknown at that time,
up and comer, right?
You could have got Wesley Snipes. You could have got, you know what
I would say that that it's a gift and the curse sometimes where you just want to do shit from your heart, you know?
Okay.
Because the studio gets pissed off when you don't do the shit they ask you to do. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of negative energy around MGM because I cast Kevin Hart.
Right.
But I was aggressive in terms of my strength, in terms of I felt he was the guy.
Right.
They showed me a lot of guys, and I won't talk about everybody, but some of the comedians that they showed me at that time were what they called uninsurable. There's like when you do a movie, it has to be insurable. Like meaning like I put up $15 million, who's gonna insure my 15?
Right.
So somebody, insurance company comes and insures that money.
Wow. So because they're too big of a
No, they're liabilities.
Oh, and like personal life, their liability. Okay.
So let's say, let's use N.O.R.E as an instant for my story.
All right. Who, you don't want to lose Mr. Lee? Use Mr. Lee. Because I don't know where the story's going. Dominican. Well, use another Dominican. Go ahead. Use Mr. Lee is uninsurable. Listen, he's uninsurable for sure.
Let's use Mr. Lee.
Okay, let's go.
Let's say Mr. Lee was a star in my movie.
Okay.
In his mind, he is already though.
Right.
Let me tell you, Mr. Lee's already a star.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean? The motherfucker is an icon in the game.
Yeah. But
so let's imagine Mr. Lee, right? So let's imagine Mr. Lee, I cast him in the movie. But we have to raise capital.
Right.
So the capital raise ain't guys like us.
Right.
It's corporate motherfuckers. And they go and
VC, venture capital people, right? Some shit like that?
They're like, we're going to put $3-4 million on Mr. Lee. Woo. Then they check Mr. Lee, and Mr. Lee's out there doing shit that Mr. Lee does.
He's in booby trap 4 o'clock in the morning. He's in booby trap.
But let me ask this question though: isn't this already a studio film, or this is?
No, I'm talking about studio.
The studio has to raise the money like that.
No. But what I'm saying is that sometimes they have insurance against the movie.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when we were trying to cast Soul Plane, there was a lot of people that I liked that were risky.
So Kevin Hart was safe.
No, Kevin Hart was no one in the equation.
Okay.
There was other people that were popping at that time.
Mike Epps?
I couldn't say. Well, Mike's my guy, but
that's my guy too.
And some guys were risky at that time.
I'm trying to think.
2003.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, you might be.
We get it, man. We don't need to say names, bro. Come on.
I'm saying names.
But
this is a show, goddamn.
So Kevin was new.
Right.
I mean, he was new.
Right.
But he was little.
He's still little. No, I mean like little.
He's still little.
Height-wise.
That's what I'm saying.
This was the tallest cast of all time.
That makes you tall. No?
Nah, you don't see Kevin Hart is hilarious. He takes pictures on his Instagram, and if you're taller than him, I think that's hilarious.
That's funny.
And then it was so funny about it. He tags the people, so I just click on the people that he cut off, and then they'll have the picture. Like the picture exists with them together perfectly. But Kev wants to be an asshole and say, "This is your fault for being tall." Yo, that's just crazy, but yeah.
Everybody that was super tall, everybody was taller than me.
Yeah,
everybody.
So you had to give Kev Clint.
And he was this big.
No, he said he built platforms.
You built a platform.
There were 2 options, right? So there was one option to do like heels. And Kevin was like, I'm not wearing heels. And then there was an option to do we called it the K board. And then we bring the board in and he could stand on it. Because the lead girl was 5'9". Meth is like 6'3". Snoop is like 6'4". You know, so it was hard to fit them in the frame.
Kev like 5'1", right?
I don't know. But I love Kev.
No, I don't know.
Kev is short.
Yeah, he's short.
So
I could definitely dunk on him in a basketball game. For sure. He could not beat me in basketball.
So the thing is that, we had to make those adjustments and the studio hated me for it. Mm-hmm. So then I was bringing Snoop. It was just so much stuff. But I told him, I said I had to have Latinos in this fucking movie.
Right.
And the only person they gave me was Sophia.
Right. We running with it. Is there, because Soul Plane, all right.
had
Wait,
a
I
call.
don't think we
If you
finished
ask, I had
the
a
Kevin
call.
Hart thing,
Okay,
really.
yeah.
Well, let's have it.
Like, how did you were able to actually finesse him into the film, though?
Yeah.
You know what it was like? Kevin Hart came to an audition. My brother brought him in, and he was incredible.
Incredible.
He was the best thing that I saw.
Incredible.
And I was like, fuck, this guy's so good. And I went to MGM, I went to the studio, and they were like, he's not a leading man. He's not, I did this, that. And like, I'm a short dude. Maybe not as short as Kevin, but I'm a short dude. And I said, like, am I gonna remove his talent because of his height? So
Is heightism in Hollywood? Not
It's
racism?
heightism?
Heightism?
It's racism, heightism.
I didn't know it was heightism.
Everyism.
Everyism.
Madism.
Shit. Is there grayism for EFN bad?
No.
It's
We
whiteism
got
now.
this shit.
I don't do that shit.
No, this is called choiceism. You have a choice.
I made my choice.
No, but for real,
Look, yesterday I was like you today. Hey, rewind the time, baby.
but there really is like people like cast roles for heightism. Like I know I'm playing around, but is that something that really exists? If you're like too small, like
Listen, with Cass is my question. Let me speak for one.
yeah. For the cat, yeah. Let's go.
You said casting. I was like, let me use that as an advantage to say something. But yeah, casting is racist. Casting is racist. So let's say Tom Cruise, he's little.
Right.
He's 5'6".
Really?
Tom
Yeah,
Cruise is a
yeah.
star. There's a Tom Cruise is a star. Anybody 5'6" and over, they're not cast. They have to be 5'6" and under. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
It's the T is short.
wait. Hold on. Time out. You said the cast.
Yeah.
You said the cast. So if he's
Because he's the
5'6",
star, they gotta cast everybody.
So they can't,
so they can't be taller than him.
He looks like this.
Stallone is my height.
All right.
So they cast everybody short.
Yeah.
Mr. T is short. Everybody's short to make it
So
feel short.
they look wrong.
You said Mr. T is short?
Yeah.
Yes, because Sylvester Stallone is my height.
Yeah, I met Sylvester Stallone with him, and I was like, wow, but casting will actually do this,
Right.
so they look like
So
this.
you.
I said,
You gotta cast accordingly. Like Ben Affleck, guys like that are tall, so you cast up. Some guys, you gotta cast the real shit.
This is where AI really could help. It just automatically adds the height.
So that took over casting now.
All right.
Let me just-
Yeah. Come on, see the same shit that happened in our fucking house.
Yeah.
You didn't let me have no love.
No, but see, the new life, I let him get all the love.
That's
Jessy
right.
Terrero.
That's right.
But anyway.
That's right. Look at it.
So casting, right? I started casting to change the game, right?
Let me get this sweat.
I appreciate it.
In Philadelphia,
I ain't gonna direct. I will fight later. Like, you direct me, let me be like,
No, we got you out here sweating.
For real, but you don't got a powder girl here? Come on, man.
No, we don't do hair and makeup here.
No, we done
We don't
drinks.
got insurance. We're uninsurable, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah,
just so y'all know.
sweaty. I had to take care of my brother.
But go ahead, the casting, because like
fight, but we
Kevin
fight.
Hart in particular, like the height.
No. So casting is racism. So like I said, I got in to change the game. So my crossover movie was a movie called Kids, right?
Yeah, that's a classic.
I did that, right?
You did Kids, bro?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, so this was 95, 96. So they cast somebody. They cast someone to do the casting, and she got Telly and she got Chloe, the two leads, right? And then everybody else was the writers, Harmony's friends, Rosario Dawson, the friends, right? And then I cast everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So my credit was additional casting. So I cast everybody else, the vibe, whatever. So that
Which became a multicultural.
No, because before that it was white, Ken and Barbie.
Right.
That was what you saw on TV.
Right.
So Kids was so realistic.
It was, yeah.
That everybody was, oh shit, I want that. Then they would hire the girl, she'll get the job, and she couldn't deliver. Then they'll call the director, and he'll say, oh no, it was Ulysses, then they'll call me. Now, so that's when things started changing or whatever, right? But I think I'm twisted too now. I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah.
What was the direction we were talking about?
Casting.
about casting.
All we were talking about is casting.
Yeah,
I know,
casting.
man.
And
You cast out, you cast out.
We actually talked about Kevin Hart.
Racism.
Yeah, racism. You said
I didn't jump in and talk for you.
Racism. So anyway, so long story short, so then the game started changing, and they started putting realistic people in there. and nobody had it. And that's how my birth came about, because they were like, if you need real casting, you gotta call me or whatever, right? And then I was on the, all the urban films, all the commercials, come on, you coughing crazy, come on. What's going on?
Easy, right?
You got him smoke?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You're not gonna
Come on.
Welcome to Drink Champs, baby.
Welcome to Drink Champs, baby.
This is the corporate guy. How's this guy? I'm supposed to be the same guy.
Welcome to Drink Champs, baby.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, no, I'm not doing that.
He wants to stay insurable.
Stay insurable.
So anyway, so I started doing all the
Drink Champs, baby.
Right, baby.
I was working on all the crossover movies that made the noise. Like I said, Above the Rim. They hired me to I did extras casting on it. They're like, you worked on Juice, didn't you? I was like, yeah. They go, do you know Tupac Chicago? Yeah. Can we pay you to go pick him up at the airport? I was like, sure, why not? They were terrified of him. So I got paid to pick him up at the airport.
Yo, let me tell you, because he might not tell this story the same way, but, Tupac, doing Above the Rim, caught a bunch of the charges that he had doing that movie.
Yeah.
And they would call him like, yo, you want to go meet him or whatever. Because the
bail him
studio was
out?
bailing him out. No, the studio was bailing him out.
Okay.
But it was a crazy time, yo.
No, it was insane. Then everybody started getting bigger. All the hip hop videos started crossing over, and I got into commercial space. And then that's when the money started coming in.
Okay, and that's when you stopped talking to me.
This guy's high. Drink Champ. No one's ever seen this guy. Only I know this guy. The world doesn't know this guy. Listen, everybody, welcome to Drink Champs.
Welcome to Drink Champs.
You guys got a classic right now. No one's seen this guy. I'm this guy, and he's the corporate brother. I'm the one in the streets. He's the one with the corporate people. Anyway, so when I
he's talking that shit. He been in the tweets. I've been in the streets. Don't get it twisted.
Oh Lord! Oh, you got him. You got him. No, record this shit. You got him. You got him, buddy. He lectured me before again. You gotta be easy. Like, you gotta not drink so much. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Don't say what you think. Let me run the session.
I did tell him that because he said some crazy shit.
He's like, yo, please be easy. You know what I'm saying? It's a big show. People see this shit. You know what I'm saying? We got the show coming out soon. We can't get the show blocked. Don't say no. Oh, I was gonna say that stuff. Don't say this stuff. Anyway, long story short, when we crossed over and the money started piling in, I was 5,000 a video. I was doing 3 videos a week. I was doing commercials, $50 video. I'm a young guy. All this money's coming. I got the big office, the big staff.
It's mad things going on.
Huh?
No, so
mad dudes? Oh, things. Mad things, of course. Of course. If I want to get the job with N.O.R.E because of my office, if I got mad dudes, no job. If I got mad things, we working. I had the Ulysses Angels. I had 10 girls with me. Anyway I went, anyway I went. I had 10 baddies with me. It was like the best business card in the world.
My brother was the king, though. I give him that. He's the king.
No, it was all marketing. Anyway, so long story short, when I got into the big space, started doing the big jobs, right? Then that's when it all changed. When I was like, this is the best actor here. They go, yeah, but he's dark skinned. Well, what do you mean? No, he's dark skinned. What are you talking about? We need more like commercial skin.
What the fuck is that?
That's what he said.
So he said, like, what's that?
That's like Ivory?
No, like him. Like not us. Like, more like
you got the same skin tones. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Come on, DFN, that's the same shit.
Like that. He's a little. He's like my brother.
Yeah, a little lighter.
You look like my brother Sandy. You know what I mean?
No, that's what my mother said.
More my mother.
All right, we go like this. It's you, then me. And
Yeah, exactly.
That's the color. That's the color grade.
Exactly. No.
Oh no, wait. You.
Exactly.
We're all shades of Latino go right here.
Yeah, sure. No, but I'm talking about the black guy. You're the black guy. guy.
Right.
They want the black guy to be.
You lost me now.
Oh no, they say they casting you
about
as
the casting.
They casting you as the black guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Casting. Like I would show them N.O.R.E.
Right.
I would show them N.O.R.E. They would want you to be the lead guy.
Right.
So, and
Like they thought he wasn't Latino for soul plane like that. That's
Exactly.
what you mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll tell you another side story. So you remember Belly?
Of course.
All right?
Yeah.
So our whole life.
Uh-huh.
So I got hired to cast Belly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I read the script. I'm like, yeah. Hype Williams. I was so excited. Jamaica Queens. I was there for 30 years.
Right.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, fuck that.
That time you was there for like 6-7 years.
At that
30
time?
years today.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, Jesse. 7.5 years.
Yeah, right.
So I'm excited. This guy, man. Easy. Easy. Who gave him the weed? You gave him the weed?
You gave me that weed.
Come on, man.
He asked for it. He asked for it.
No, I didn't ask for it. He just gave it to me. He was like, yo, I was trying to be cool. He said, don't be cool, man.
You deserve y'all props. You deserve y'all props. Go ahead.
You see the flowers that's got my name on it.
This is incredible.
The first time
this is incredible.
That's right.
Listen.
No, BT used to spell my name wrong. This motherfucker spelled it right. That's bullshit.
I swear to you, when I looked at it, I swore it was gonna be wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna be
Everybody spelled
honest.
my name wrong.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. You know what your name is like? Your name is like Worcestershire sauce. Like no one can really pronounce Worcestershire sauce. Like no one knows how to pronounce. No one knows how to write Winchester sauce. Like who the fuck? Like even when you send somebody to the grocery store, you're like Winchester sauce. You don't want to say it straight up.
No.
So when we was like how to spell your name, I was like that's like Winchester sauce. Like, no one knows. Bro.
Nah, this is epic.
But shout out to Paul, Drink Chance Boys. He got. And What the Flower. Shout out to What the Flower.
I got movie credits that come up. Movie credits, and my name's spelled wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Razor Victor Vargas, peace out. I see you.
Now, is that a Dominican name?
Huh?
Ulysses?
No, what Dominicans do is like they try to give their kids American names
Yep.
so they can fit in.
Like
No, that's not
like
American.
you a snake?
No,
You snobby? The Cubans be.
That's a Greek name. That's a Greek name.
It's a Greek American?
Ulysses, Jesse, Sandy, Leslie. That's our whole family. Our parents trying to
These
give
grants right here.
our parents trying to give us American names so we can fit in.
Good.
No, that didn't work.
That didn't work. No, it didn't
No, but
work.
hold on. Let's go back to Belly. Let's go back to Belly. Hold on. Let me finish this Belly shit.
The name shit.
Oh yeah, the belly.
The name shit on
The main name what?
the name stuff.
Oh,
With
okay. They messed up your name?
No, I say.
Oh, the name still there. Continue. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, you got him lit. Look at this guy lit. Look at this. Go ahead, Jesse. I'm sorry, Jesse. Go ahead. Talk.
Yo, the gangster shit of my brother. He was like, yo, no, you got him acting out of character.
All right.
Yo, Jesse.
We celebrating
Go
y'all.
ahead. Say you that's our older brother shit. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm the real talker. You don't do that to me. He's like, no, you got my brother out there in character. He's a little brother. Like, yo.
I didn't say any of that. Did I say that? I didn't say that.
You showed him, my brother.
I didn't say that.
Sign language.
I didn't say any of this stuff.
You did.
I told him to tell the belly story. It's a good story about racism again.
You gotta tell the better story.
About racism for Latinos. The fight, we've been fighting for 34 years. Like I said, we grew up in the Bronx, we were Jamaican Queens. We were never black enough, we were never Spanish enough. I went to white school, wasn't white enough. We were always the guys just never accepted. You know what I'm saying? Our whole life never accepted, so I was always fighting. So Belly, they hired me to do Belly. I was so excited or whatever, right? So these are people I've been working for years.
Okay, but
for years.
let's pause this. Sometimes it's like it's our assistant.
Just Ulysses Terrero. Jesse ain't involved.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hype Williams, Jesse's not involved. It was just
Yeah,
me.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
some of this shit, it was different.
No, it was just me, not Jesse.
Yeah,
Good.
it's just-
But he's repping for the family.
What did he say? Oh, I thought he was.
It's action shit.
I think you said it's just my story. Not your
I
story.
feel like you're doing it because you want me to take a cheesecake to Brooklyn. Why are you doing that? And we out here, we're together. You know what I mean?
You guys are outside.
No, he is our brother. He will edit this the right way. You just try to come at me like Diddy in the reality show.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's trying to kill me out here, N.O.R.E.
I'm not trying to kill you.
No, the brother, I love him. Everything I've done is because of this motherfucker.
That's right,
I became
goddamn.
high because of him.
God damn it.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to. I wanted to be an actor. He didn't let me, so I became a director. Boom.
He said, I stopped. Oh, chill. He said, I stopped his acting dream. I just made him a director.
That was a joke.
Hey, man, that was fire.
That was fire.
I like shit. You want to fill his belly?
Yeah, I would love to, actually. No, I'm just saying, it's just another story about the struggle. About, you know what I'm saying, how Latinos just would never fucking accept it. So I get hired to do Belly, cast Belly. The people producing it, I've done their jobs for 15 years. I'm their, back to Soul Plane, I'm their black guy.
Okay.
So I do all their black shit. Not much. They're a big white company, but the 2-3 black things they call me, right?
Okay.
It's like, hey, Ulysses, you know, Robbie Reed just quit on this movie we're doing. That's a true story. It's a true story. It's facts. You know, what do you want me to do?
Might not be able to walk around Paramount. Guess somebody might try to smack the
Paramount ain't hiring me. Fuck Paramount, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We're doing our own shit right now. Anyway, we're doing our own shit right now. We're creating a new platform right now. But anyway, so they were like, yo, can you come on board and do this movie called Belly? They sent me the script or whatever. They sent me the budget. It was 50 bands. I'm like, okay, yeah, 50 bands sounds nice. I'm sure I'm gonna like this script, you know what I'm saying? I read the script.
That nigga wasn't reading the script.
I read the script.
He wasn't reading the script.
He still thinks I don't read scripts. But anyway, so I read the script. I thought it was, I was feeling it. Jamaica Queens.
He only feels it according to the bands. Yo, how much they want me to read it for? Okay, this is a good script.
That's a fact. If it's $2,000, I ain't reading no scripts for $2,000. Like, this fuck out of here.
He's reading the title.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not even reading that. It's like there was a joke today with these cats talking about, I won't say their names, but they were like, they called me for my movie, and I was like, you can't afford me. And you know who they are. But anyway, so long story short, so I took the job, was excited, so I started prepping or whatever. Then they called me 2 days later, like, Ulysses, man, we're sorry, man, but please don't force us with a cancellation fee, because you know we got you, we hold you down, but we're gonna have to release you from this project.
They said what from the project?
We're gonna have to release you from this project. So if you get hired and you start working and they fire you, you get a cancellation fee. So they're like, please
release you now?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I
told him. I would have told him I'm not unreleasable.
That's what I told him.
What the fuck is this shit?
No. But anyway,
say, what the fuck are you talking about, yo?
It's your fault. You did that. You're responsible now.
They gave you a reason? They gave you a reason?
No. So they were like to that. Yeah, you should say I'm unreleasable, baby.
They fed me for many years. I loved them. Until this day, I still work with them. But anyway, they were like, please don't give us a cancellation fee.
He's a good guy, my brother. You see him? He held these people down. He wasn't shitting on them because of me.
What are you talking about?
Fuck that, man.
What are you talking about?
That you wasn't shitting on your people. You know what I mean? It's real talk. I said, yo, you love me, but you just was holding it down for your people. I was showing you love.
Nobody's even saying that story. What are you
No, but I'm in the story.
Oh, what I'm saying is, I got released. They told me not to give them a cancellation fee. And then I was like, why are you releasing me for? They were like, because when they told the director who was casting the movie, he was like, Terrero, where is he from? And they were like, he's Latino. And then he was like, Latino? We need a fucking black casting director. What the fuck a Latino know about fucking Jamaica Queens? Like, he lives there. He's been there for 20 years. We thought he'd be a great choice. Yo, I need a black casting director.
Wow.
Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then...
Is that a white dude saying that too?
No, this is Hype Williams telling them that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. There's a facts. I like Hype. We just met last year, I think, or 2 years ago. Okay. And we hit it off. But anyway, so long story short.
That's a tough one because I like Hype. I
love Hype. I'm a big Hype fan. So long story short, they released me. Then they called me back the next day. Hey, do you have any recommendations? I'm like, for what? To cast the movie. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, you're our black guy. It was a white company. They're like, we don't know any people that do black stuff.
All right.
So I was like, you know what?
The fact they talk like that is crazy.
No, these are my friends. I worked with them.
The
fact that they talk in those terms is wild.
What would you recommend?
Winston Sinclair. So she gets the casting credit. She's the one that hired us in Juice.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? I know somebody, and I hooked him up with Wisdom. Wisdom gets the casting credit of Belly. Yeah. So I'm just saying, but like these, I can tell you 800 stories of like being Latino just ain't the wave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like say when the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, like we were the kings in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Doing all the Jeezy. I did Trap or Die. Then he did the Manny Fresh joint. Then I did what I do there's a big one. I did the big one. Then he did I Love It. No, hold on. Stop. I'm just saying. I'm making a point.
I got you, bro.
I'm making a point.
I love you, but it's drink chance, baby. You gotta talk about it. Okay. The point. We always send a couple messages. She said, "Yo, let's not fuck up the show. Let's keep it fucking aligned with the shit that we do. High quality."
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
What's happening? But long story short, shout out.
You don't want the brothers fighting.
Let me get 1 minute. Listen, I gotta fix this.
No, we're good with drink chance, baby. Let me tell you.
Yeah, N.O.R.E, what do you do, kid?
Let me tell you. Look, let me tell you. You don't have a top level show like this. You don't have control of the edit. This motherfucker got 7 cameras. You control the edit. You stop it. Like, yo, you're not fucking around. Like,
We good. You're good.
But who's fucking around?
I'm saying we out here.
I told you a long time ago.
There's drink chance. Drink chance, the shit you sign says like, let's show him the stories. Okay. This nigga N.O.R.E, they want to sit through shit.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. See, I got it, Jesse. I got it, Jesse. Let me just wrap it up.
Okay.
I said Jeezy. I just want to let me just finish it.
I wasn't trying to tell you wasn't the king. Don't get touchy.
No, I get it. I'm a speed up.
No. Just my older brother, and he gets touchy like I'm just
I'm not getting touchy.
down.
Give me the rules before we
I
start.
can tell the rules.
I'm gonna be easy.
We out here. We're together, yo. We're together.
I was just saying this.
This is a new show, Family Matters. Like we're
That's what I'm saying. You see that? I tried to do a podcast with him. He was hating on me. He didn't want to do it. I was like, yo, we should do it, man. I'm out here, man. I'm out here every day. I told him I don't give a fuck.
You do give a fuck. But I got to finish this statement. I mentioned Jeezy's name. We love Jeezy. But I'm saying, like, the point was we were in Atlanta doing a lot of stuff. T.I. I did ATL out there. You know, we were out there early, right?
ATL the movie.
Yeah, I cast that too.
Okay, go ahead.
My title get additional casting, but I cast. What's that? Hold on, here's the story. Here's a casting story. So, Killer Mike, right? Emmanuel Panica, who used to be a video commissioner at Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
She hit me up, like, yo, that's why I was directing videos. She's like, yo, you should direct this guy Killer Mike's video, whatever. And if she mentioned the number it was, and I was just like, at that time, I was like, you know, that don't make sense for me right now. She's like, yo, this guy's the Godfather.
Right.
Yo, I'm telling you, you should fuck with him. And I wasn't really doing rap. I was making the transition into Atlanta shit.
When he was on his mixtape run? Like
early. It was the ATL, whatever that year was. Like 2005, I think, something like that.
Because when he came out with Adidas, he was on a record label, and then he had the crazy mixtape run.
Yeah, like, I don't remember, but... So anyway, so she's like, yo, look, trust me, you should meet this guy, and you should do his video. So I meet with him or whatever. He takes me around Atlanta. I didn't know who he was, but this guy, everywhere we went, they rolled the red carpet out.
All right.
So I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He got mad jewelry. It's just me and him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, you're not scared? They might take your chains and shit?
He in a Lamborghini?
Huh?
He in a Lamborghini?
I don't remember. Because if I tell you the end of the story, you understand why. But So we keep going. We hit every club. Every club was like, the Masters here, red carpet, love. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Then at 5 a.m, we go to this place called Body Tap, right? And we sit down with these goons. Huh?
Florida?
Atlanta. It's called Body Tap. And we walk in there, and then we with these goon dudes, and somebody gives me a stack of money, and they're like, just throw it in the air. And I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that. It was a lot of money. Like, yo, it was like, it was throwing the air. So I'm like, okay. So I was so upset. It was a strip club. So there was a little body tap.
Right.
And now everybody knows what body tap is.
Right.
So, you know, so I'm upset, throwing it in the air, whatever. There's money everywhere. I went to the bathroom, I fell because I tripped on money. It was insane. It was insane. Like, what the fuck is that shit? It was insane. I was gonna be like, hey guys, just give me some of it. It was just so much money. I couldn't understand it. Anyway, so then when we leave, I asked Killer Mike, I'm like, yo, who was that goon? And he's like, oh, that was Big Boy. I'm like, from Outkast? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. They passed on him for ATL. Because they thought he was like the happy rapper guy. So then he dropped me off at the Georgia Terrace.
ATL movie.
ATL the movie. Yeah.
So he was supposed to be the
Let me tell you the story, guy.
He was supposed to be T.I.?
No, he was nobody.
I'm saying, who he would have been casted for?
The drug dealer dude.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish the story and I'll tell you. This was the icing on the cake. Thank you for spoiling the story. So anyway, so he dropped me off.
He told me, yo.
Oh, I gotta go? It's a long story? Okay, sorry, guys. So long story short.
Mr. Lee kicked him under the table
Long story short, he drops me in the Georgia Terrace. I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoking cigarettes. I passed out. It's 7 a.m. Somebody wakes me up. It's Chris Robinson. And he's like, yo, what's going on? I was like, I got you the drug dealer. It's fucking Big Boy. He goes, it's a gangster dude. I was like, I was with him yesterday. He's gangster. Trust me. I set up the meeting. Big Boys in ATL.
Got great.
That's the casting shit.
I probably should have asked you this earlier, but I'm gonna ask you it to you now.
Earlier would have been amazing.
That was the perfect time.
Maybe not.
You're known as this hip hop director, but you get an opportunity to work with Robert De Niro, right? And I even read somewhere that he even told you to call him Bob on the set. Y'all got so personal. How was that? Like, on working with a prestigious actor like that, coming from, hip hop, where people, don't usually get a chance to be in the same room with Robert De Niro, let alone director.
I think what's interesting is that at some moment, like, people don't expect us to be on a certain level on the filmmaking game. Like, they don't expect us to be like on that high level. And for us to have like a guy like that, like how many Dominicans shot Robert De Niro? Probably not any.
Come on.
And I'm not trying to make it up. I'm just trying to be honest. Like,
You gonna get that real talk now. You gonna get that real talk now.
Robert De Niro.
Did he take direction? Did he take direction from you, Will?
Okay, let me tell you.
Tell him about the meeting. About the cop selection. That's a good one. Outside of fucking with whatever direction you were going. I'm sorry. Go back to that direction.
No, man, I can't believe you was fucking on my shit. Yeah. This is the best person in my life, man. He gets mad at me.
1, 2, 3.
You don't know what it's like, we out here for, like, if you want to judge your life on who is there the entire time, there's people that are in sections that they fucking were there at the sections where your life was needed, that person. So you can't deny them of being the fucking guy that rode with you through the fucking pain.
Right.
But there's probably, when you look at that section, different sections of people that are engulfed in your life. And maybe if you're lucky, you have one person that maybe took the whole journey, 2, 3 people, and this motherfucker
Took the journey.
took the beginning.
How about Robert De Niro, though?
Did Robert De Niro take the journey?
How is that working, though? Come on.
Yeah, your shit was crazy because where's the
You want more?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I don't know, bro. I think you got it.
Now I need the drink to at least have something in it.
Hold on. How about drink says we don't want to give no more drinks? I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Then you're no longer a champ. You have to be a champ the whole time.
He's a drink king. He upgraded. From champ to a king.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having the opportunity to even be in the same room with Robert,
And he's the director himself, so that was that intimidating?
It's tough. I think it's a different situation. Let's imagine I was like someone that wasn't Latino. Right. Sometimes you sit in front of a Robert De Niro, but people judge you because of the way that you look, the way that you dress, the way that who you are. They think that who you are doesn't put them in the same level on the film level. Like in the conversation about film, it doesn't matter if you study film, fucking broke down film, you cut the shit when you were shooting your short film. It doesn't matter anything you did, but you're just Latino, and they look at you and they say, fuck this motherfucker, he don't know shit about film.
Right.
But I was there cutting this motherfucking film, doing the shit that I needed to do, but they see you sometimes and they fucking judge you for that. You know what I'm saying? And they don't show us the love, and they're like, yo, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do all these different kind of things, but they don't do anything, you know what I mean?
And Robert De Niro felt that way?
No.
Oh.
So when sometimes they make you feel a certain way, and Robert De Niro, even though they offered him a deal, they were like, unless he says yes, he has to meet the director. And they call me and they, no, come on, man. It's like, I'm not a dude who just lives in an imaginary world. Like Jessy Terrero's dope. Like I know I'm ill, so why I'm here is Drink Champs, baby. It's the fucking #1 show in the world. I know why I'm fucking here, because it's Drink Champs, baby.
But I heard you didn't want to wear a suit because you didn't want him to think you were corporate when you was meeting.
Yes,
Robert.
that's what I'm saying. It's Robert De Niro.
Right.
Like never in my journey in my life did I think my journey had me Robert De Niro moment, killing it.
That's big.
And I was out there like surfing on big shit.
Right.
Man. Like, come on, man, it ain't a game. Like we did shit that was dope.
Who walked you to that meeting?
No, but the crazy thing is, let's say I was a white American person or white, I wouldn't worry about nothing but meeting Robert De Niro.
Right.
But when you're Latino, you gotta worry about the way you look, the way you dress, the way you know what I'm saying? Because people judge you on that. And then they just don't give you the respect. So I told my brother, I said, what am I supposed to do here? I'm out here, dog. Pop culture. I'm doing this shit for real. You know what I mean? I'm doing this shit for real. We affecting shit. You know what I mean? So I told him, I said, but you're like, holy shit.
Robert De Niro.
Get to the point. We lost him. He lost it. I'll tell him. You want me to tell the story for you? I'll tell the story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So anyway, and you can pick it up where you want to, right? So he met Robert De Niro. So I try to come with him. And they're like, just the director, no brother. I was like, oh.
Nah, they really grabbed you up like that?
The woman that was with him, you got to fall back. It's one-on-one.
Right.
Okay, but I got a spot where I could watch.
Right.
Let's watch. I was excited. So anyway, just went in there and just tell him how Robert De Niro came at you with the options.
No, it was interesting because it's like all of a sudden you come into a position like that, and you got to sit with someone he might see the world different.
Right.
So you start talking to him about different things, and the one interesting about Robert De Niro is that because most of his marriages, the wives have been African American.
Yeah. His kids is black too, right?
So I think he understands. Yeah, he knows what's up.
He been messing with a chocolate box for a long time. Great, man. I can say it. Was that like a dream come true?
No, it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. There was one point, it was a different actor. And the way that business works, sometimes it doesn't work like us. We love something, and we just love it, and then the money tries to make us think different.
Yes.
But with him, it was something different because it was we had
the money.
No, I liked him. He was part of the money.
No, okay.
He had the money already.
Yeah, he had the money already. Yeah.
He didn't need the money for it.
He didn't need the role, so he's just doing this out of love.
That's what I'm saying. But sometimes for us, it's we want the project to make sense. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's just it's about the bread.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I get it now. You know what it is? Because Jesse, like I say, even though he's feeling nice, he's still corporate and safe and you don't want to share certain information. No, I'm saying, no, because these moments, these are big moments, you know what I'm saying? Let's say Bobby hears it.
Right.
You don't have him call
That's
him
what y'all call him, Bobby.
You gotta call him Bobby, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying they might hear it and, you know,
It's cool. I'm not saying anything. They know what it is.
So what's next? Because we see Don De Niro
fights
and we
with me
see
and my
5
brother.
mics
That's
keep
what's
posting
next.
y'all. Don De Niro and 5 mics keep posting y'all.
So that's we just wrapped yesterday.
What is that?
So it's called Spanish Fly.
Oh, Spanish Fly.
Okay,
So y'all swanking bitches drinks?
Oh!
That's what it was back in the day, Spanish Fly. That's what it was. That's what it was back in the days.
You buy it in the flea market.
That was the original Bill Cosby. They was calling him Bill Cosby. Go ahead.
And, it's a comedy that Don De Niro wrote.
Big up to Don De Niro.
Nah, he did
shout out Don De
it.
Niro.
He wrote it, he produced it, he put the money up, him and his nephew, and we just wrapped yesterday. It's like a Friday Cheech and Chong, you know what I'm saying? So we just finished that. Like I said, it was me, jokes, blah.
Shout out to Jokes, man. That's the home.
But he was the main horse on that. He was
Really?
he was like the ghost director.
Man, Jokes is a legend out here, man. That's our homie from back in the day.
No, we just did something right.
Yeah, nah, that's our homie, bro.
But like I said, this could be the first thing we see for the first time. Like I said, it's a Dominican and a Cuban, a Cuban and a
Because
Dominican.
ain't Don De Niro Cuban?
Yeah, he's Cuban, yeah.
So
He's Cuban, B.
Yes,
Yeah.
a Cuban actor, and a whole bunch of diversity in it. Like, it's pretty funny. Like, we think we might do something with this. And it might be the first time you see the culture. Because Don De Niro, he really enforces the culture.
He deserves his props. Don De Niro.
Yeah. So
because
he
of 5 mics
does-
as well.
For sure.
But before we get up out of here, I got a movie for y'all that we're going to do together.
We're going to do.
That we're going to do together. Guess what it's called?
What's it called?
Handballs.
What's that?
It's a movie about handball.
Oh, handball.
But you want to call it handballs?
Handballs.
Oh.
Handballs. The title gets you off top. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You gotta say pause. All that. You gotta do. But it's about a guy from Queens. He plays handball. He becomes the illest handball god in the world. And he goes to Turks and Caicos.
Oh, it's you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you say? It's about a guy. It's about me.
I'm fucking the guy. I'm the guy. I'm the handball guy in the movie. From Queens to Jamal.
That doesn't mean you in real life.
Yeah. I'm from Coliseum. I'm from the Coliseum. And, you know what I mean? And then he goes away, and then there's these guys, the LA guys come in. Because you know, New York, we have our certain style of handball. Then Miami has a certain style of handball where they play on racket courts and tennis courts. Then they have the LA style where they play on a totally different thing. But I want to migrate it. N.O.R.E will play the people in LA. And he will get a new breed of how they do it. And then they get me back coming from Turks and Caicos. I have the beard on. I'm like 500 pounds. And then I get in the gym. I start jogging. And then I come back to win my hands back. Because that's what it's called. Hands. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. I'll tell the great. Yo, this is Big Chat. Yo, man. It's going down. Besides that, because did we talk about the documentary that I'm in for y'all?
Oh, the Hip Hop World Champion?
That's right. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, we talk about
You talk about that before we get up there. Yeah. Where was it premiere at? Amazon Prime?
Yeah, Amazon Prime, Hip Hop World Champion. Thank you for giving us your time.
It was so fun.
You know, we got the Rolling Stones Awards, right?
Oh, no, hell no.
Oh, wow, congrats.
I got a Rolling Stone Award. Give me a little one.
Give me a little bit of that.
Give me a little one.
They gave me one. And I was like, and then we went, it was like 4 or something. I was like, can I go from my brother like $1,500? I was like, hey, Jesse, you can have mine. So I don't even have one right now.
So anything else coming out y'all want to promote?
Yeah, it's really.
Well, for me, Active Rehab.
Active
Rehab is the future. Active Rehab is the future.
Let's go.
Active Rehab, like I said, we make stars there.
Done deal.
We don't give diplomas, we give jobs.
That's it.
Yo,